San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at espnsa.com. Go there. You can watch the show live. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson, comfortably ensconced in our O'Reilly Auto Parts mobile studios. James Pledger at the mothership. Got to be honest with you, boys. Got some bad news for you. Well, I got some great news.
Let's have a great hour and a half of radio, guys.
I'm going to present this as a boss should present this. We have a tremendous opportunity, Jason and James. We have an opportunity today to seize an hour and a half that we were not promised this morning. We did not know that we would have twice the time to entertain our good folks, to talk sports around our great city. We thought today we'd only get an hour and a half, and we have been blessed with another hour and a half. We got 3 hours of extraordinary sports talk coming our way. All we got to do is bring it for the next 180 minutes, and
you guys have it all wrong. I mean, you know,
we're gonna have to pull.
It is so bizarre. You glass half full, glass half empty. That we talk sports for 3 hours a day, and we get in here, we do this. It's fun. I enjoy it when you have a day off, 2 days off. You miss it, but there is something nice about an early release day, and
like a hooky
with your early release day. I prepared the marinade for the chicken early, knowing that all right, I can get this on the grill around 6, so I need to make sure this is done by 1. And now I got to work till 7. Well, I'm still going to start the grill I'm not going to start it at 6.
Yes, he is. When Jason's not sitting there in a commercial break, he's gone to his grill.
That's the downside of doing this stuff on Facebook Live. Is because during commercial breaks, you might think we're preparing for the next segment. Or you might see us tending to the grill, or feeding the dogs, or making a sandwich.
I could be, you never know. I mean, but that time is ours.
The commercial breaks aren't that long, Rob. You're not doing that.
Time is ours. I mean, I'm just saying, it is ours to do with what we will. That is why it gives us a chance to take a deep breath, get something to drink.
What are you doing during the commercial breaks?
I'm just saying it is our time. And just because we are not in screen does not mean we're not with you in heart and soul. Hey, if you are just joining us, this is where we stand in the sporting world, and it feels a lot better right now than it did this time yesterday. The NBA appears to have come to an agreement with the players to play possibly tomorrow, more likely on Saturday, though there is one more hurdle. The players and the owners are going to meet this evening after everybody kind of has huddled up, and there could be something go wrong there, though it does appear that the players are planning on resuming play, or at least LeBron has decided he's going to play, and then everybody else is just going to do what LeBron's going to do. But at the end of the day, the boycott, as we saw yesterday and today, might be enough to jumpstart a program that many of the players believe has slowed to a crawl, and the message gotten lost. So that's where we are.
If you look at that, it's interesting because what did Tillman Fertitta call it? It's a pause. But it's Michael Jordan right now that is, we always say, what LeBron decides, LeBron is going to, everybody else is going to follow. And that's a tremendous amount of power and pressure on LeBron James. But Michael Jordan, who, has all the respect from all the players and is also a majority owner, the only black majority owner in the NBA, he's apparently the one that's, reaching out to Chris Paul and reaching out to others and, being the voice in the owners meeting, but also carrying a heavy voice inside of the players. And, according to sources in a Woj article on ESPN, he is the guy that is kind of making sure that the games continue, because that is the best way for them to stay visible so that their message continues to get heard.
First of all, welcome to the party, Michael Jordan. This is a bold new world for Michael. And it started with this, the Last Dance series, where he finally started to open up a bit. But there is no one in the world in a more unique position to be the medium between the two entities. And it's not like the players are upset with the NBA. It's just there's no better player with enough sway and money to speak with those guys in the language and in the situation that they can both kind of talk. So I think that's very good news, though. You never know when meetings like this happen. We're in a very fragile state right now, but it does look like the NBA is going to head on. Now, baseball has followed suit. Several teams have decided to postpone or boycott. Primary to us is the A's, the Oakland A's. They are the ones that decided to sit. The Rangers did not. Whether that matters or not, it doesn't to me. But there will be no Rangers today. They're going to make that up on September the 12th of the doubleheader when they see the A's next. So that's why we'll be on for 3 hours. Certainly the NBA is going to be top of the line there. We're going to get to hear from some Dallas Cowboys, though. They continued to practice, though. Certainly there was sure some questions whether they were going to practice. Leighton Vander Esch, in particular, had a chance to hear from him earlier today. I think you'll enjoy the interview with Leighton Vander Esch. This guy is appears to be, he was more successful than anybody expected early. And the next step hadn't occurred. Maybe it was injury, maybe it was other stuff, but the injury seems to have changed Leighton Vander Esch and changed his outlook on professional football and his desires to be a pro football player, because it's good to hear from that dude.
Well, it was, and obviously the expectations, and certainly he is emerging as the leader of that defense. In fact, when you listen to him, he almost sounds like the quarterback, and he is in a lot of ways going to be the quarterback of that defensive unit. And that defense, by all accounts, against this high-powered offense, is winning a lot of battles in practice. And typically speaking, when you hear that, you go, "Oh, is that?" It's weird because you're conflicted as a fan of a team. If one unit's dominating the other, you go, "Oh crap, man, they must suck." But you got to win some, you got to lose some. But against that offense, if they were losing a lot, you could say, well, they're getting better. Look who they're going against every day. But with that defense winning some, and granted, I need to see it against the Rams. I need to see it against other people. But I was pretty down on this defense at the beginning. Maybe not so much anymore. Maybe they're going to prove some people wrong, especially that front seven. Secondary, still a bit of some work, but even the rookie, Trayvon Diggs, seems to be playing well. Not that I expect him to start, but Diggs seems to be making play after play after play.
We should talk to that guy.
I mean, we should. In fact, he's scheduled to call us in about, 6 minutes. So we will.
Oh, man, that was a great tease, man.
You like that?
That was professional level stuff. So Trayvon Diggs,
not only had an hour and a half, man. I'm ready to go.
that guy that was he cornerback, or was he that guy to Clinton Dinks? Was he?
He was mentioned by name.
Oh, he was.
He
mentioned.
was the one
sure.
corner mentioned by name.
Yeah,
Trayvon, by every account, is having a great camp, and it went from a certain rookie to play now to a guy that might be looking at starting over the last couple of weeks. Trayvon Diggs, the star young quarterback out of Alabama, is going to join us right in just a couple of minutes. RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys, formerly of the Saturday Morning Hangover and Rock the Mic champion, will join us for his usual at 4:30. And John McClain
at 5:15. Today is officially the last day of Texans training camp. They will have a scrimmage tonight. It will still happen because they kick off 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks, my friends, from today, the NFL season officially kicks off.
That's extraordinary news. And when John joins us at 5:15, I found it interesting how they worked out a whole bunch of dudes on the last day of camp. I'm sure there's reasoning behind it, but the last day, you want to talk about some pressure. You got one snap, but we got a lot to get into today. I do want to talk about what went on yesterday, as we had our great discussion with Antonio Daniels. And if you missed any of the Blitz yesterday, that's why we have the audio vault brought to you by A.Best Bail Bonds. You can go to espnsa.com and click right on past our lovely mugs there with our live stream, and you can dig into the audio vault and listen to it anytime. Antonio was heartfelt and wonderful and really reflected a lot of what went on. Yesterday, I opened up the phone lines and a guy called and brought up another situation where I ran him off the air, and I want to apologize for that. That's not me. I did not want to become what I detest, people that won't listen and refuse to change their points of view. I did that because I did not want to be brought off the topic at hand. This was not going to become a political discussion, and I should have clarified one or justifying one or the other. We will all agree that what happened was awful on both situations, equal or not. I will agree, but I apologize for treating someone the way that I hate to be treated, and I will not do that again. I promise you. And saw some tweets, and I apologize for that, and I refuse to bow down to that kind of ignorance again, and I won't. All viewpoints are welcome here as long as they're formally constructed without anger and can bring a legitimate conversation to what we hope is a family affair, a group conversation. And I broke that code, and I won't do that again, Jason. So let's talk some sports.
And we can all agree to disagree. And
yes.
And that's the wonderful thing of sports talk radio, and with everything that's going on, is it's uncomfortable. Your viewpoint, I might not agree with it. But this is a forum to have discussion. That's what we want to do.
But we will stay on topic. We will not meander through the musings of callers. And, as I would say, as most everybody in San Antonio would say, more of you, Jason, and less of them is always a better thing.
Yeah.
Only person that did not agree with me on that was your wife. I didn't quite get that. Hey, let's talk. I took a poll, and she was the 4 out of 5. She was the 5th. It was strange.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to convince your daughter, but she said, "Yeah, okay, so, yeah, he's good."
Yeah.
But Joanna was not going to bend on that one. She wasn't.
Nope.
I'm trying. I don't know where that went. I'm so sorry for doing that to you. There we go. All right, let's hear from a
for
fine
conducting
young
a family poll against him.
I'm just, I'm always working behind the scenes. Polls are my favorite.
Figure out why you were on the phone with my wife last night. Now I know.
And let's see. I have one more question here.
It was a census.
It was just a couple things, just to take the temperature of the room. I just want to see where everybody's altitude.
It was strange because I saw her caller ID. It said could be spam, and yet she took the call anyway.
It was correct. It sounds a lot like that too. It's actually a robocall.
Telemarketer.
Check yes or no. Hey, let's hear from a great young quarterback. The second round pick for the Dallas Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs, desperately needed. Are we going to see him sooner than later? What's training camp been like? We'll hear from Trayvon coming up next. RJ Ochoa joins us very soon after that. Lots of Cowboys talk right here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You want to protect what matters most. That is your home and your family, and you can do that by calling BSG, the best local company for home security and smart home technology. Jason Minix here. That is what I did when we moved into our new house in January. Called BSG, had them install the security system. I got the cameras in the front and the back, the Sky Bell. It's monitoring all of it. That's a great thing about BSG. On average, 20 to 30% less expensive than those national companies. And it's not just home security. The smart home technology is incredible. I've got my security system through BSG, my surround sound speaker system, automatic lights on the outside, automatic door locks, my garage door opener, even the sprinkler system. And it's all works off of one app. Very easy to use, very convenient as well. They offer so much more, including medical-grade air purification systems that was developed for the military to be used in chemical warfare and is able to remove viruses from the air. Great for your home, great for your business. So is Connected Car. Yep, you can tie your BSG monitored security system to your car that not only gives you information about your driving or your kids driving or your employees driving, but it will also send notifications if your battery is low, if your tire pressure is low, or even if your fuel level is low. So for the best in home security and smart home technology, call BSG. Great local San Antonio company. They've been doing it here for over 20 years. 210-877-1222 is the number. 877-1222 or online, bsgtexas.com.
Love ESPN San Antonio? Watch The Blitz weekdays 4 to 7 and the Saturday Morning Hangover Saturdays 9 to 11 live at ESPNSA.com or on the ESPN San Antonio Facebook and YouTube pages. Search ESPN San Antonio and subscribe.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you have a family member that gets arrested, maybe a friend of yours calls and says they were arrested, an employee, you want to get out of jail fast, you want to get them out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go to the website, mybestbailbonds.com. You can even start the bonding process there online. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. A lot of reasons for that. And yet don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Trust me, there's a lot of conditions there. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans. They have a free shuttle service because when you get arrested, generally you don't drive yourself to jail. Your car is somewhere. You got to get somewhere. They'll get you where you need to go. And, of course, they're discreet and confidential. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide that are open 24/7 to get you out fast. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, 225-2121, or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem, and it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Blake Stevens with San Antonio-based GPS of Texas. If you have commercial vehicles on the road, you're a target for personal injury lawyers. I mean, you're wearing a bullseye. Our system can protect you if there is an accident with proof of speed, video monitoring, even proof that your driver wasn't on his phone. Don't get hammered. Have real proof that you weren't at fault by installing our GPS camera tracking system. Call GPS of Texas at 210-587-7634 or gpsoftexas.com.
Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, zero interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, zero interest on anything and everything starting September 1st at Diamonds Direct. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities. Or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities. And the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Ask for it at the Mopar Service Center at your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealership.
Labor Day savings are now at the Home Depot, and your fall project list is now even more affordable. Use our mobile app to search, shop, and save. Flexible delivery options that bring everything you need right to your door. And if you need tools for a project, but not forever, you can rent them. You won't find a better toolbox anywhere else. Take on fall with Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only, while supplies last, valid through September 7th.
AA Best Bail Bonds presents ESPN San Antonio's Dallas Cowboys Training Camp coverage. Sponsored by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Ewald Kubota, and Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Your AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboy Training Camp coverage continues. Like to welcome on the show brand new cornerback with the Dallas Cowboys, their second round pick, Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon, man, welcome aboard. Thanks for taking some time with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So Trayvon, talk about training camp up to this point. Obviously, it's a bizarre year with COVID and everything, but being a rookie coming into the NFL, knowing you've got, your brother who plays in the NFL, you had an idea of what you were getting into, but what's it been like for you?
It's been a great experience. It's been, a weird time coming into the NFL this year with everything going on, but, That's part of life, just adversity and, change and, just rolling with the punches and making the best of it. But so far, it's been fun. I've been, learning from the older guys, seeing how everything works. Like you said, I kind of had an idea how it was going to work. But, I'm just, coming to work every day, learning from the older guys, meeting new people, building relationships, talking to my coaches, watching film and doing things like that, just trying to work and, make the most of, our situation and what we have. It's a great facility here. Everything's here, great coaching. So, just trying to take as much coaching as I can get and, pack all the knowledge I can this first year.
He is Trayvon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys, number 31 in your heart on the playbook there. Trayvon, tell me a little bit about your competition. You're competing well by every measure. Everybody's really happy with what you've been doing. What do you attribute your preparation to? Why is it you're further along than or where you are? Is it because you have experience? Is it because of Alabama? How'd you get yourself ready for this very strange training camp?
I feel like it has come from, my school and where I come from. There we always train hard and, just expecting making the most of your opportunities, because you don't get a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of guys up there, a lot of talent. So, you got to make the most of your opportunities and just, go about it like a pro and do everything like a pro. So, I just carry that over here, just working hard, having all the confidence in the world, just competing. I'm not going to necessarily compete with anybody out here, but, I'm competing with myself first before I compete with somebody else because, you got to want to do it every day. You got to want to put the work in every day. So, that's a conversation with yourself. That's a conversation you have to have with yourself. And, I feel like I'm real good and real in tune with myself. So, I have all that confidence I can go out here and compete, just doing the things off the field to give me confidence on the field, So I feel like that's a play. And, I'm a competitor. I like to compete. I lose one, and I feel like if you get me to that on that route one time, you ain't gonna get me on it twice. So I like to build from my mistakes. I take all my losses as lessons, and I learn from it. I feel like that helped me, escalate quick and learn from my mistakes and play better and play faster.
As a second round pick, all the preseason, depth charts and guesswork didn't have you listed as a starter. Do you expect after the couple weeks of training camp, as good of a camp as you are having, that you will be in the starting lineup, if not against the Rams, at some point this season?
Of course, that's the main goal. It's not up to me at the end of the day, but it is up to me by, doing what I can on the field to show that, I can be the starting cornerback and I can go out there and do everything the team needs me to do. So, that's my goal. I want to be the starting cornerback. I want to go out there. I want to compete. And, I just want to, go ball and help, this team win. So, I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing my part, doing everything I can on the field and practice, just trying to make the most of it, just to show that I can be out there and I can do it. But after everything's said and done, I'm ready. Coach told me out there, I'm ready.
He's ready. Trayvon Diggs. Now, Trayvon, injuries are part of the game, and there's certainly injuries at corner right now. That's kind of the way of the NFL. You talk about confidence. How confident are you? Ready to go out and go one-on-one with Robert Woods in week one? I mean, is this been enough, or is the learning process such that you hope to be ready when you see Robert Woods here in a couple of weeks?
I know I'm going to be ready. We have great wide receivers here that I go against every day, practicing with them, learning, different type of styles, Coop, Gallup, CD, all the receivers good. They all got their, certain way of playing. So, I'm practicing against, one of the best receivers every day. So, that's preparing me for the game time when I go against other receivers. And, like I said before, I'm a competitor. I like to compete, and I have all the confidence in my ability. So, I'm ready. Coach told me out there, I'm going to be ready.
And you talk about going against those receivers. You were a receiver not that long ago. It hasn't been that long since you made the switch to defensive back. How much has that helped you? How much has that hurt you?
I would say that it helped me more than it hurt me. I don't think it hurt me at all because, it helps me, play the ball better. My ball skills have helped me a lot because I've been playing receiver all my life. So locating the ball, tracking the ball, having a feel for the ball, having a feel for routes. I can when receivers break down, I know when they're really breaking and when they're not breaking. So, just little things that, I've done as a receiver, it's just natural to me. So when I go out there and I'm throwing it as a defensive back, it's all natural. So it helped me be more fluid in my transitions. And I feel like it helped me a lot, just, being around the ball, wanting to be around the ball, knowing routes, knowing route concepts, stuff like that. So I feel like it helped me more than it hurt me.
Trayvon Diggs joining us here on ESPN San Antonio, rookie cornerback with the Dallas Cowboys. And as a rookie, there are certain jobs you got to do. Tell us about your room and your experience as a rookie as training camp's gone on. What is, have you had to pick up food? Have you had to do the typical rookie duties?
It hasn't got crazy, honestly. It's been all love so far, but it's a long season. I know it's coming. But so far I haven't had to do anything too outrageous. Just grab a couple of snacks and stuff for the meeting rooms and things like that. Nothing too crazy or too extravagant. So it's been all love. I love these my teammates and being around these guys. They're cool, and they talk to me. Everyone's talking different groups, different positions. So it's real good.
Now, obviously, this is a different kind of training camp. Instead of being out in Oxnard, California, typically, let's put ourselves there. We're on the tennis courts doing our show in Oxnard, California, because that's what we do. We set up on the tennis courts there in Oxnard. And when we get the rookies on the show, typically, Trayvon, whatever they had to sing in the meeting, they sing for our radio audience. So what have you had to sing, and are you ready to belt it out?
we haven't got to sing anything yet, so that's good, surprisingly, because I can't sing.
Well, none of you can, but somehow it always seems to happen.
I feel like it's coming soon.
Get yourself ready. Just get a short song, man. Go with a short song that isn't complicated. Here's a pro tip. Short, uncomplicated song. They'll give you heat for it, but it'll be easier on you. Trust me.
I got you.
Talk about your room, Trayvon. What about Cheeto and some of the vets? How are they treating you? Is it a teacher mentor kind of thing, or is it a competitive thing? Do what I do. How are you learning from the older guys?
The room is good. It's good chemistry. Good energy in the room. So I'm learning from them naturally. That's what I do. I like to watch. When they do well. I like to watch when they do bad. And I like to learn from mistakes, and I like to learn from the things that they do well. So I'm just watching them. I watch all of them. I watch everyone. Just see the things that they do, getting the feel, trying to put myself in their position and seeing everything. And, if I have questions, I ask them, tips or anything, I ask them. But I'm an observer, and I like to watch and, just go out there and compete. There's always competition, no matter what. But it's always good energy with us as well. So, competition is competition,
Out of curiosity, being a rookie player, what vet has taken you under his wing?
That's hard to say. It's a couple of vets that, I talk to every day. Try to get as much knowledge as I can. Clint Dix, Jalen Smith. I talk to Sean all the time. I talk to a lot of guys. Like I said, it's a lot of chemistry and, people talking at different positions at different groups. So, they take all the rookies in and, they open us, they welcome us in with open arms. So everything's been all love. It's been all just love. And I enjoy that because, sometimes you might not feel comfortable talking to a vet or anything, asking them questions, because you're just coming in. But, they welcomed us in with open arms and made it comfortable for us to talk to them and, ask them questions and stuff like that. So, it's been love. I like it a lot.
Trayvon, coming from Bama, certainly from Alabama, by way of the DMV area, the DC Metroplex, tell us what you think about Dallas in general. Have you had a chance to learn the area? Have you been out and about? You found a restaurant you like, or is this whole bubble thing kind of screwed up the way you get to learn your new hometown?
It's kind of screwed up a little bit, but from what I've been and what I've seen, what I've been around, Dallas is amazing. It's amazing. I like it a lot. A lot of a lot of restaurants, a lot of malls, a lot of great people, I love it here.
Trayvon Diggs joining us here on ESPN San Antonio, rookie cornerback trying to make his way.
It's going to be an incredible year. Now, you haven't gotten to sing yet. You haven't had the rookie duties yet, but you know they're coming. Out of curiosity, because we had your brother on a couple of times when we've been on Super Bowl Radio Row, and former Viking player Andrew Sendejo is from the San Antonio area. You know him pretty well. Your brother is known for pretty elaborate Christmas gifts for his teammates, some on the serious side, maybe some on the joking side. Have you thought about what you are going to be known for in the locker room outside of football?
No, not yet. I'm just being myself, coming here being myself. And eventually something to come about, just me being me and who I am. And eventually that'll happen. But I don't know yet.
Biggest surprise about being a pro football player? Certainly, you've been around the game long enough. Nothing about the game I think surprised you, but being a Dallas Cowboy and becoming a pro football player, what was the first thing you went, wow, that's cool? I had no idea.
I don't know. That's a tough question. Nothing really surprised me. I feel like everything has been, what I expected it to be. So nothing really surprised me, honestly.
Trayvon, man, by every measure, your camp has gone well. We cannot wait to see you on the field against them Rams, shutting down and opening up that brand new, beautiful stadium at the same time. Trayvon, thanks so much for joining us today. Stay healthy, my friend. We look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Trayvon Diggs joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. I get the feeling he's going to be a starting quarterback before October 1. Can we? Is that a safe bet? Should we have or can we go ahead and go September the 21st or something like that? I mean, it's going to happen.
He's making plays, but I don't know how much he's running with the ones. I don't. He's a rookie. And he hasn't been playing corner that long, but he carries himself like a seasoned vet. And again, having an older brother in the league, playing at Alabama, has him probably a little bit better prepared. I am not a fan of Anthony Brown. I think anybody that's listened to this show for a minute probably knows that. I'd replace Anthony Brown with you. But, and you could be any of you listening, you in your car. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Although, Oh,
I thought you were talking to me. I got my 40 down to like nearly 4.
Yeah,
I could do it.
I would
almost
let
4
you replace Anthony Brown in a 3rd and inches situation going against a wishbone. You can play corner in that situation only.
I have reached an age where I can run backwards and forwards at exactly the same speed.
but only before 9 a.m. at the mall while wearing a tracksuit.
No, it's the same speed. I didn't tell you what the speed was. I don't need to loosen up for this one. Yeah, I don't need to loosen up for this one. I just need to make sure I don't fall down.
Good Lord.
Here's why I say that. And a lot of it is, of course, skill. And certainly we know his ball hawking abilities. But I get the feeling that they're not – Earl Thomas is a lost cause. And, it ain't going to happen for whatever reason. If it does, it's gravy. But, discussions before this happened was they might end up having to pull a cornerback back there to play safety. And if that's the case, it'll be almost because they feel comfortable enough for Trayvon to start that they'll kind of rotate the player personnel. So I think it's just going to be very hard to keep this guy off the field.
Well, and again, you're going to have Cheeto and Anthony Brown right now are your starters. I'd put Diggs up there just because his name isn't Anthony Brown. But at the same time, and Jordan Lewis is your nickel guy. But Diggs he just continues to make plays in practice. I mean, for everything you see about CeeDee Lamb on the offensive side for a rookie, you see the same about Diggs on the defensive side.
It's the question, and would you rather have the Byron Jones, the guy that's consistent, the guy that's going to be there, never going to get beat, going to be in the right place at the right time, but never going to get a big turnover, just isn't that type? Or would you rather have a guy that's raw, but dang, 3 times out of 10, we might end up with the ball.
Yeah, but if 6 of those 7 other times end up
I
in a
agree.
touchdown, I think I'd rather have the Senator.
I think that's been. Yeah. I think we will. I think that the consistency, while it was never headline gathering, will be something we deeply miss because we never really got beat deep, especially on that side of the ball. And you get rookies back there, that's going to happen no matter how good they are. Hey, let's talk with RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys coming up next. And for the Coast Guard types, I'm sure you're very good at interdicting and shooting at things above the water, but shooting into the water, you're not very good at that. Yeah. We're going to talk about a wild video that has hit.
Are we going to make fun of the Coasties?
I'm just saying, I'm glad the Coasties can swim because they can shoot into the water. Maybe that's the whole science thing. Hey, RJ's coming next. Hang around. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You know, you're about to go fire up the grill at some point this weekend. Labor Day around the corner. You want authentic sausage, the kind you could find in butcher shops back in the old days. Then Kielbasa smoked sausage is what you've been looking for. You see at Kielbasa, they make their legendary smoked sausage in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals you can't pronounce. And then they smoke it over real hardwood, just the way Rufus Kielbasa did back in 1949. At Kielbasa, they're on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats, whether it's the sausage, Kielbasa bacon, the chorizo, their breakfast links. It's all fantastic. And you know, Kielbasa is a great local San Antonio company. All that great sausage is made right here in San Antonio over on South Brazos Street. And when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you know you're getting the very best, most authentic smoked sausage you'll ever eat. If it's not the best you've ever eaten, just call Michael Kielbasa. He'll give you your money back. His number is on the back of every package sold. So get yourself some Kielbasa sausage at your local grocery store today.
Getting ready for the hangover without the headache. The Saturday Morning Hangover. James Pledger and Jack Thompson. Saturday mornings 9 to 11. 1250 ESPN San Antonio. 94.5 FM. And on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Thomas J. Henry recently recovered $27 million for a brain injury in a trucking accident case. If you were hurt in an accident, we can help. Visit tjhlaw.com/radio to start your claim today. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, is celebrating the Cowboys' 60th anniversary with the Ultimate Fan Experience Sweepstakes. Win Dallas Cowboys game tickets, tailgate experience, and 60th anniversary gear like exclusive Miller Lite Cowboys caps, t-shirts, or a track jacket. Register at MillerLite.com/Cowboys or go to your local retailer where Miller Lite is sold and snap the Snapchat code. The Ultimate Fan Experience Sweepstakes brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Celebrate responsibly. 2020 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Injuries happen even during a crisis. When they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sports injuries, dislocations, and sprains and strains. With 2 locations, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury with no urgent care or emergency room copay. Injured? Get to Ortho Now. Visit TSAOG.com/Ortho Now for more information.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Strict attention to detail. That's what sets Kubota construction equipment apart. It's how we maximize performance, increase strength, and give you the dependability you demand. We engineer our equipment precisely at every level. It's what makes us a leader. Save up to $11,000 on construction equipment or get 0% APR financing for 60 months. Now through September 30th, 2020. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
O'Reilly. Get more miles on the road with O'Reilly Auto Parts. A clean fuel system means better gas mileage for your car. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for $8. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. For a clean, lubricated, more fuel-efficient system, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The best teams start with great talent, but finding the right people can be a challenge. When it comes to hiring, ZipRecruiter can help you find the right candidates for your team fast. With their powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter scans thousands of resumes to find people with the right skills and experience for your job and actively invites them to apply. ZipRecruiter is so effective that 4 to 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. To try ZipRecruiter for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Dan. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Dan. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
The die-hard batteries you know and trust are now at Advance Auto Parts. That means all the reliability, durability, and power you expect now come with free testing, free installation, and the unrivaled expertise of advanced team members. And you don't even need an appointment. When it's time to hit the road, stop by Advance Auto Parts to start strong with a die-hard battery. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
AA Best Bail Bonds presents Dallas Cowboys Training Camp coverage on ESPN San Antonio. Sponsored by Ewald Kubota, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys.
It is your AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboy Training Camp coverage. Joining us now, editor with Blogging the Boys, formerly of Saturday Morning Hangover, RJ Ochoa. Welcome aboard, RJ. How's your day, man?
It's going well. It would be going much better if I found out that one of you was wearing a tank top and supporting Tank Top Thursday, trying to get that going.
Is that a thing for you now?
Pledge is wearing a tank top with a T-shirt underneath.
That like he's wearing a basketball jersey in college in 1997. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, except for it's. I mean, you could be watching us on Facebook Live, and we wouldn't have to describe Pledge's wardrobe, which in most cases is undescribable. But
are you wearing tights right now, Pledge? Okay.
Yeah. So go to Facebook Live and see Pledge in tights, or not. No, please don't ever say that again. RJ, we were just talking with Trayvon Diggs, who's having a hell of a camp. You talk to this guy, he does not sound like a rookie. How long before he is in the starting lineup?
Well, I remember when we were talking about this a few months ago, I thought the idea of him starting was silly because it is silly generally for any rookie corner, let alone one that wasn't like a classic Jalen Ramsey to be starting his rookie year. But given the situation with injuries and with the fact that no other corners have really popped, I could legitimately see Trayvon Diggs as a starter maybe in the second quarter of the season, week 5, week 6, something like that.
I went October 1 to give you an idea. I think you hit it all. And also, he seems to be a playmaker. And if it comes between boring and playmaking, I think they'll go with the playmaking and fix the mistakes. And it just seems like that's going to be the easiest way to go on a defense that seems to be winning on a very regular basis against that offense. Is there any concern from what you've heard that maybe the offense isn't finding its way and could be because they don't have their tackles? Or is everything just going as planned and defense is typically ahead of the offense?
You took the words out of my mouth. I think if there was any concern, because they did return today, it was just, the fact that they were missing Tyron and Lyell. I mean, I think it speaks to the fact that DeMarcus Lawrence and Everson Griffin are really good football players, that they were winning so often. But I hate to really be just like chugging the Kool-Aid, but it does kind of feel like everything is going as well as it possibly can to this point.
Chug the Kool-Aid, man. We're all drinking the Kool-Aid. The season hasn't started. It's Kool-Aid drinking season.
I mean, there is every reason to be very excited and very hopeful and look at this as a team that is a legitimate contender for a Super Bowl. I mean, that is a very fair idea, which is kind of strange.
RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys joining us here on ESPN San Antonio for his weekly update. The defense is certainly taken front and center, and now we start to hear talk from McCarthy regarding the way Zeke Elliott's going to be used in this offense. The concern was he's never had a running back, and he's got these 3 wide receivers. He's going to be chunking it everywhere. And we heard McCarthy earlier this week talking about Zeke and the way he was going to be used, but he didn't say carries. He said touches. Do you see the offense shifting to where, half the duties that Zeke's going to carry or 3/4 or a third maybe of the duties will be more pass receiving, ball in the flat, kind of moving the ball around and getting him where he'll be successful instead of inside the tackles?
I definitely believe that the plan for Zeke is to be used in the passing game a lot. I think it's very indicative that Zeke said he didn't spend any time this offseason working out of the backfield, that he works primarily on his receiving game. Mike McCarthy, we know, is somebody that is a big Pro Football Focus fan. He's a big believer in analytics. He's a big believer in data. And all of the data suggests that running backs are most useful in the passing game. And so I think that Mike McCarthy looks at Zeke and looks at the fact that he hasn't been used in that way. And he says, okay, I've got this talent. I mean, the Cowboys have already paid him. I can't, avoid that pitfall now. So I'm going to air it out. And because, I mean, from just a basic analytical perspective, getting Zeke Elliott the ball 10 yards past the line of scrimmage is much more productive than handing it to him 3 yards behind where the quarterback lines up, because you have to hand it off to him on a standard play.
And again, it makes sense. What I'm really looking forward to, RJ, is, especially with no preseason games, it's going to be unveiled as they get the first win in that beautiful new stadium that the Rams have there in LA that we've been seeing on Hard Knocks. And, it looks like Atlanta Stadium and Jerry World got together and created this little stadium in Los Angeles. But, the fun part is the unpredictability that we're going to see with this Cowboys offense. And part of that is Jason Garrett is taking his predictable self to New York. But the idea of Pollard and Zeke in the backfield, one of those guys going out for a pass, you could say have the Belldozer lined up in the backfield or a Jarwin. And then those three wide receivers. I just am looking forward to seeing something different and unpredictable out of this Cowboys offense.
I think those are really great words. And I mean, it's hard to believe because we've gotten so used to Jason Garrett. And I think we've heard disguise, we've heard, changing things up. And those are all ideas and philosophies that were absent in Jason Garrett's mind. And I think that, it is impressive if you can just say, hey, this is our game. This is what we're going to do. And we're going to beat you. And if you do it, well, I mean, more power to you. But Mike McCarthy seems to understand that there are ways to scheme wins in the NFL, and having talent on top of that is just, icing on top of the cake. And so these are uncharted waters. I mean, he really does seem intent on maximizing the talent of his players, which is kind of the ideal way to coach in the NFL.
RJ Ochoa joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. Real quickly, fourth receiver looks like it's Cedric Wilson. Is it definitely Cedric, or is there competition between him and Devin Smith and Ventel Bryant?
I think Ced has the inside leg or inside track, whatever that is. I think that Devin Smith might make the roster, might be your fifth guy, but Cedric Wilson has versatility. He can be used on special teams. That's kind of what that role has to be. And so I don't see any reason why Cedric Wilson, he's somebody they drafted. That is something the Cowboys really love, is their homegrown products. So I think that Cedric is kind of the guy in that capacity.
It's going to be
interesting. Noah Brown?
Is he still alive?
Oh, Noah's in the mix too. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Another Ohio State guy that's in the mix for wide receiver 5. But I think that depends on, are they going to carry two running backs? Are they going to be able to sneak Ben DiNucci onto the practice squad? Like, I think that could open up a roster spot for one of those other players, because you have to go light somewhere else if you're going to go heavy at one spot.
And again, Noah Brown, just, I mean, at this point, I mean, not that they could trade him and get anything in return, but I mean, the fact that he hasn't popped yet, it tells you what you need to know about Noah Brown. Now, a guy not on the roster, still generating a lot of news, is Earl Thomas, who still isn't signed. Stephen Jones, and apparently with Mike McCarthy, a new philosophy, they don't like to talk about players that aren't on the team until they're actually on the team. And that's been the steady answer coming from Stephen Jones. And he uses one player, Griffin, as an example that, see, you guys didn't know he was coming and we didn't talk about him. And it worked out pretty good. Same thing here with Earl Thomas. In your mind, is it all about price when it comes down to Earl Thomas? I mean, the fact that it's Thursday and he still doesn't have a job.
Yeah, I think it is completely about price. I think the Cowboys, Charles Robinson, great NFL insider for Yahoo, brought this up on his podcast. He was very specific in that he wasn't equating Earl Thomas to Greg Hardy, but he brought up Greg Hardy as somebody who the Cowboys brass was not 100% in agreement on. And that might be the case with Earl Thomas. Obviously, people feel differently about Earl Thomas. Obviously, different teams feel differently about Earl Thomas. And so, the thing that makes taking on guys like that easier is if you don't have to pay that much to do it. And so if the price drops, I mean, we know the Cowboys are not interested in Earl Thomas at a high price, because if they were, they would have signed him a year and a half ago. But if the price drops to the point that it just becomes, look, I cannot, we've all been there, right? Like we've all bought a car or whatever, something because the price was just too good to ignore. I think it might reach that point. And I think the Cowboys are trying to communicate that to Earl Thomas and their, appearances in the media. And I kind of think it might work.
Let's hope. RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys joining us here on ESP in San Antonio. And the funny thing is we have to look at training camp for what it is this year as opposed to others. It's like dog years. Every day you miss now is like missing 4 in your normal training camp. So we're running up against the deadline as we're just a couple of weeks away from the first week of the season for kickoff. So certainly a time there. We'll hope that demand continues to drop. Hey, we're up against it. We're going to talk about the inability to shoot sharks. And I don't know if that's scientifically possible, but it seems like the Coast Guard, if it could be done, should have been able to do it. Let's talk about how you save a bunch of swimming coasties. I like that term too. A coastie. Yeah, that's a happy thing to be known as. What are you? I'm a coastie. Oh, hell, let's have some fun. Coasties are here. We'll be right back. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Do you have a retirement plan? No matter your age or how close you are to retirement, you need a plan to make sure you don't run out of money. Jason Minnick's here for Pax Financial Group, online at paxfinancialgroup.com. You see, at Pax Financial Group, they know you want to be financially prepared. And in order to do that, you need trusted guidance. At Pax, they have the experience and tools to crunch your retirement numbers and get the answers you need. If you have a plan, let Pax double-check your numbers. At Pax, they believe everybody deserves to be hopeful about their future. They understand why it is important for families to protect their hard-earned money, and a key reason they're a trusted financial advisor for so many families over the past decade. Connect with Pax by calling 210-881-5700. 881-5700 or online at paxfinancialgroup.com. Investment advisory services offered by Pax Financial Group, LLC.
AA Best Bail Bonds presents ESPN San Antonio's Dallas Cowboys Training Camp coverage. Sponsored by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Ewald Kubota, and Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Log on to ESPNSA.com for all the latest and tune into the Blitz.
You feel stuck in pain, something bothering you. Hey, this is Rob Thompson telling you about Arasti. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio. I should know. I'm a frequent patient of Arasti. I have a bad back, always have. I tweak it. I need to keep myself healthy by going to Arasti. I did it last week. I was just getting out of the car. Wham! It cinches up on me. And what happened before Arasti was basically a month on my back. Lay on my back, my feet propped up on a chair and just begged for forgiveness and help because I couldn't get back up. Well, I went and started going to an Arasti provider. And I'll tell you the first thing I did when I went in is I got a full evaluation. They found out what my body was like, what was going on. And then we pinpointed what the problem was and they fixed the problem. And the funny thing about that was the problem didn't necessarily manifest where the pain was, but they fixed the problem and the pain went away. And that's really the key with Arasti. They fix pain fast because they go to the root of the problem. They don't use it. This is not about surgery and it's certainly not a long-term issue. It's your body healing itself, manipulating your body to get it fixed. And it works for me remarkably well. And what has kept me with Arasti is they've given me tips and tricks to stay healthy. And when I do tweak it, I understand how to get myself better because that's the key. If you're living in pain, if you've got something bothering you, soft tissue injuries like a hamstring pull, a quad injury, maybe you pulled a muscle in your back doing a little bit of work or your shoulders a little tight, you got plantar fasciitis in your feet, and maybe you got those stress headaches that go up the back of your neck. Arasti can take care of all of those problems remarkably fast. Make the call. Get yourself out of pain. Here's the number, 1-800-404-6050. Again, 1-800-404-6050. The website, Arasti.com, AIRROSTI.com, is the list of all the local providers. You'll see there's one very close to you. You know, when you go to an Arasti provider, they're going to accept most insurances, and you will never, ever need a referral to go see an Arasti provider. Go see Arasti today. Do what so many have done. Do like Becky Hammond and Tony Parker have done. Gone to an Arasti provider to get themselves back in the game. People ask me all the time, why should I go to an Arasti? And I tell them the same thing. It's because they fix pain fast.
Nobody plans on getting arrested, but it happens. Get out of jail fast by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. Call AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans and are open 24/7. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, zero interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, zero interest on anything and everything starting September 1st at Diamonds Direct. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Nobody beats the low prices at Mother's Window Tint, your car, stereo, and auto security headquarters. Nobody beats our prices on high-quality performance window tint and expert installation. It's essential to protect yourself and your family from the sun's hot rays and car thieves. Save $100 off regular winter prices when you purchase the Mother's Window Tint and Alarm package. This is a deal. Save $100 off our regular winter prices now at the start of summer. Limited to stock on hand. For 36 years, Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special. Want to make your car go thump, 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 mother thump? Premium car stereos on sale. Sony, Kicker, JVC, JBL, Diamond, Kenwood, Memphis Audio, all on sale. GPS, remote start systems, all on sale. Save $100 on the Mother's Window Tint and Alarm Special. Nobody beats the low prices at Mother's Window Tint, your car, stereo, and auto security headquarters. Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Changing your oil. We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil and an STP oil filter for just $26.99, plus a $5 bonus reward if you're an AutoZone Rewards member. Not a member? Signing up is easy. You can do it right here in store or on AutoZone.com. Getting the job done just got easier. Terms at AutoZone.com/rewards. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Labor Day savings are now at the Home Depot, and your fall project list is now even more affordable. Use our mobile app to search, shop, and save. Flexible delivery options that bring everything you need right to your door. And if you need tools for a project, but not forever, you can rent them. You won't find a better toolbox anywhere else. Take on fall with Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only, while supplies last, valid through September 7th.
Hey. When does this begin? All right, here we go. Let's try it now. It is the Blitz. Here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. The Blitz is brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. An experienced personal injury attorney is but a phone call away. The number 210-900-0400. Jason Thompson. If you've been injured in a car, truck, or commercial vehicle, motorcycle collision, don't wait. Call Jason now. The insurance companies already have their attorneys and are preparing their case against you. Let Jason go to work immediately. Okay, we like to look for offbeat stories on the regular to kind of close off an hour, just to kind of, cleanse our palate as we prepare anew. And this one is a very strange one because it's about Coast Guard guys out in the ocean doing something that I didn't know that you could do in the military, but I think it's awesome, where they just go out and kind of hang out. They're going to have a day out on the water, have a half day, swim around, and evidently a shark was coming. But this is not uncommon because they were prepared. There was armed men with big guns there to ward off the sharks, and it actually happened, and we got it on video.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and it's kind of scary because they shot 18 times at the shark and apparently never hit it. Never saw blood. You saw it keep swimming around. Apparently they didn't have the sharpshooter on rifle duty. But I'm reading some of the comments and they're like, what the hell's going on? In the Navy, when I was in the Navy, that was called a steel beach picnic, where you'd go out on the flight deck and casual clothes, and you barbecue out there, and variety of games. If you've got basketball hoops or cornhole or whatever you're playing, and one of the cool things you were allowed to do, especially if the waters were good, and so in the Caribbean or variety of ocean water, you just jump off the ship and go swim in the ocean. You are literally in the middle of the ocean. It's all safe. When I was in the Navy, we would put some of the little boats that you'd have out there, so if somebody were to get in trouble, you could rescue them quickly. Or if there was a shark, you could get out of the water pretty quick, because at least on my ship, you weren't getting on that thing without a lot of help. And so it was very common. I never saw a shark when we would do that, but it's fun as hell. And the 2-beer rule, because if it's been, the rule then was if you hadn't stepped on land in 2 weeks, everybody could get 2 beers. You could sell a beer for $20 a can.
See, all the stories about Navy guys were true. You guys have like some kind of, what we did? If we had a half a day off, it was called a FOD walk. We would walk in the 1,000-degree heat from one end of the airport runway to the other. Now, that was our half day. And I'm like Air Force, like we're acting like I'm tough. There's Marines and Army dudes out there going, get the hell out of town. What are you guys talking about? 2 beers.
Look, seriously, because my dad was retired Army, my brother was in the Army infantry. I had a couple friends Air Force. I wanted a beach in my business, and I always wanted to sleep in a bed, 3 hot meals, and you always had a shower and porcelain. We never had to worry. It wasn't always a hot shower, and there wasn't. You used to have to hoard toilet paper. But there was things in life that we didn't have to deal with that Marines and Air Force guys and Army guys had to deal with.
So that prepared you for the pandemic, hoarding the toilet paper.
I've never run out of toilet paper. I've never run out of toilet paper. You learn things.
It's a skill. I'm over here. I was in the Air National Guard.
Hey, man, you still served. You didn't rough it, but you still served.
Those brutal Saturday afternoons, I would have to go to work. We would go, and I would serve my country on college football Saturdays. I was forced to. I went and protected you while you guys watched college football. I missed game after game, month after month.
Are you telling me
I missed like 4 college football games a year?
Your guard duty didn't have a TV?
I can't get into what I did. I'd have to kill you.
I mean, what where were you protecting us?
He was at his house.
Where were you protecting us from?
I was deep in a munitions bunker on what was then known as Kelly Air Force Base, arming the bombs and the missiles that were about to go on F-16s, or I was sitting on the side of the runway waiting to take them apart or take them off if they were hung on airplanes. Normally, that's what I was doing on the weekends.
So there's a lot of travel involved.
And you had Dave South on the radio.
I wish. A couple of the, I mean, technology was a little bit different then. So nothing was, it was really hard to hide that kind of stuff, but we tried. But I was, first and foremost, I was defending the country and making sure I didn't blow myself up. That was really the first
We thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Your boys, or maybe you appreciate the service in the Hazelwood that you now get to send them off to college.
It's the 6-year investment that just keeps on giving. When we get back, let's talk. True that. John Mclean's going to join us at 5:15, and we'll talk lots about the Dallas Cowboys. Leighton Vander Esch finally get to hear from the young linebacker back off of a neck injury. You want to hang where you are. That's the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You're ready for some football, and when training camp's underway, I know we definitely are close, and I have the perfect crunch that'll get you back in the snacking game. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors you want, like Korean kimchi barbecue, cilantro lime, and more. Eat these low-carb bacony bites right out of the bag or crush them in low-carb recipes. Get them at H-E-B and go to southernrecipesmallbatch.com for your buy two, get one coupon. Southern Recipe Small Batch. It's a different kind of rind.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what a full court press is in basketball, right? Full defensive coverage with no holes. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. It runs on America's best networks, same as big carriers, but for a lot less. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G, for up to 50% less than the big carriers. No contract, full coverage, 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
And now a game of commercial chicken brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
Oh, hi. Okay, guess we should talk about something. Kind of tough to be put on the spot. Not sure what to say. But I know what I'm definitely not talking about. Drivers who switch to Progressive can save big.
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
KZDC San Antonio.
This is Daryl Johnson. You're listening to San Antonio Sports Leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM, where the pros play. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at espnsa.com. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. We are sitting in our O'Reilly Auto Parts mobile studios up on blocks out back. He's James Pledger in the Glass Box of Fun. Welcome aboard. John Mclean of the Houston Chronicle is going to join us in about 15 minutes. We'll talk Texans as they break camp. They are playing in 2 weeks. We're almost there. We're talking NBA, the lack thereof today, though the imminent possibility that we will get it tomorrow or possibly Saturday. The boycott seems to be going to conclude tomorrow, though it's not completely done. We're going to look at that for sure. John will join us at 5:15. Talking Dallas Cowboys later with, you're going to hear from Leighton Vander Esch, Darian Thompson as well, the current starting safety, one of the two starting safeties for the Dallas Cowboys in that ongoing safety battle with the questions of Earl Thomas hanging over his head. We're going to do some What's on Tap. Of course, it's Thursday. We celebrate the fact that the weekend spreads before us like a bouquet of wonderful flowers and all the things that are available to do and celebrate. And when we can't find those, we find stuff online that's fun to talk about. We'll do that at 5:45. And then we're going to talk our weekly grilling segment. We're going to kick that thing up a notch. We're excited about our weekly grilling segment where you can get some meat over at Tri-County meat purveyors. We're going to do a grilling segment. We want you to be a part of it. We're going to start talking about some serious food, some world-class meat to go on some world-class grills. Right, Jason?
And then yours and mine. And
yeah, well, then mine. Yeah. Don't denigrate. You know, I know I'm cooking with a couple of coat hangers and some matches, but, you know, it's going to get done.
I'll tell you, the Traeger is a game changer. In fact, a little preview of the grilling segment. I'm going to do the pollo asada chicken. I've done it a couple of times on the propane, and it's fantastic. Tonight, I'm going to put it on the Traeger and smoke it. Oh, I can't wait.
You cannot go wrong with a white sauce on chicken. You cannot. It is not possible to go wrong. Cuts that fat perfect. So we got a lot to talk about. The NBA, here we sit. It appears calmer heads have prevailed. Now, Jason, last night when we went to bed, the last I had heard was...
Well, it was some breaking news because, we know that the NBA didn't play last night. They're not going to play tonight. The NHL did play last night, a couple of incredible games, including the Dallas Stars losing to the Colorado Avalanche in a crazy game that finished up well after midnight. But the NHL has decided today they're not going to play any games. Flyers, Islanders, and the Vegas Canucks game that were set for tonight, they aren't going to play. You got a handful of baseball games, and I'm starting to wonder, like, some of the Dallas Stars players said, yeah, we were good playing last night. Tonight they're not. Is it fear of missing out that you wait a day to decide to join the party? I don't understand the idea now of deciding today you don't want to play when yesterday you did. What happened in the last 24 hours?
Solidarity. I don't fault them for play. You don't know what you're supposed to do. We've never been here before. I don't find fault with them playing or not playing. There's no manual,
but if you played last night and everything you said yesterday about continuing the games, what changed?
that others saw it as a worthy thing to do. And also there's a player with the NHL that called out his league, said it was an embarrassment, that he was ashamed.
Yep.
So, and I think cooler heads and wiser minds prevailed. So, maybe we should join the crowd here. We can't appear to be indifferent. And maybe this is, again, we're now in the level of, in our society where silence is complicity, no matter what side of the fence you're on. You have to do something. And I think the NHL realized that not doing something was the appearing to be complicit, where you have to open up, you have to say or do something, and NHL's diving in on this. Now, I think the precedent was set with the NBA. If in fact they do get through a meeting this evening, that's going to go on amongst players and owners to get this thing going. Though we do expect that to happen in the league to start either tomorrow or Saturday, but. We see baseball follow suit. Now the NHL is going to follow suit. I saw earlier, Jason, that Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants and others there with the Giants were still considering the possibility of maybe missing or boycotting the first game of the NFL season. And I think that is a logical conclusion to draw, as we have seen every other league do something.
It will be interesting because there's been a handful of teams that did not practice today. Other teams did, including the Dallas Cowboys. The Houston Texans have a scrimmage scheduled for tonight at 7 that is still going to go on. And we're getting to a point that, it almost feels like if you don't do something, if you don't skip a game, if you don't skip a practice, you're getting criticized for not doing it. And I don't know if that's right either. I think as a group, individual teams, are making decisions that they feel are right for their teams. But if one team doesn't practice and one does, I don't know that either side needs to be criticized in this situation, because we don't know the reasons of a team. Well, we're practicing. We're not. I don't know that either side needs to be criticized here.
Boycotting on your day off doesn't count. Boycotting on a practice day in the minds of most doesn't count. So you're going to just skip practice. Let's do something that affects others. We got to expand our words and our deeds well beyond missing practice. So yeah, I can see a lot of players skipping practice. That means one thing. Look at what the NBA has done. They sat down during the playoffs. Yeah. And we're talking about skipping practice. I think the solidarity idea is going to catch some fire here. And I agree with you. What your stance is and how you move forward is really completely up to you. But when you're part of a team, normally 51% goes the direction. That's what a team is. So you might be part of that 49. You might want to play, but 51 doesn't want to go. We're a team. We hang together thick or thin. And so I can see this kind of continuing with the NFL, but they've got some time to plan something now. We've been waiting for the big reveal with the NFL about kneeling. I'll be very interested to see what the NFL does, given 2 weeks to prepare, and given the situation, what they've already seen their competitive leagues and their brothers at the same time take the mantle in very unique ways.
Well, and again, we're talking about the pro leagues. What about the college football programs? I saw Curtis Quillen, who local kid that works up in Waco now for a TV station. He tweeted that Baylor's planning a player-led protest. The Baylor football team will walk around campus later this afternoon protesting the Jacob Blake shooting there in Wisconsin. But again, that's practice. What are they going to plan on game day? But it's not just the pro leagues that are doing or saying something. But again, though, I've seen some get criticized, like the Cowboys and the Texans, for not taking a day off or skipping a practice today. And I don't know that either should be criticized. The Texas Rangers aren't playing tonight because the Oakland A's decided to sit out. And the Ranger statement said they supported the decision, but they were planning to play.
What happens is we keep drawing these lines and forcing people to stand on one or the other, and you have to though.
It's almost like the criticism that Greg Popovich and Becky Hammon got when they did not kneel for the national anthem. And when the NFL rolls around, if you don't kneel, Are you going to get criticized? It's just such an odd situation where people's personal choices are being called into question for what? Making a personal choice.
Well, I think the times are set for a roll call, and silence looks like complicity. From now on, silence is viewed as that. And sometimes silence is an absolute scream, and others it's not. Right now, you need to say or do something in the sporting world because your brethren, your brothers are doing that. Now, in every other situation, maybe not, but you're called to account on this one. This is one of those things that players will not forget. Now, you can certainly justify it, and everybody would understand it, but you're going to have to say something. You have to do something, and whatever you do, you might be asked to justify it. But after that, I think you can carry on. The NBA, as we sit, appears to get ready to play on Saturday, making a bold statement. Michael Jordan playing a big role in the communication between the owner's stance, the league stance, and the player's stance. And it's certainly, as it appears, the role that he played, long overdue, but certainly very welcome, because there's not a player in the world that carries more weight and more power of a word than Michael Jordan, because there's been just so few of them over the last 30 years. You want to talk some Houston Texans? You want to reach out to a good friend? John Mclean of the Houston Chronicle is going to join us next. A little late, he might be a little perturbed, but such is life. We're going to have to do it. We're stretching an hour and a half into 3 hours. We're doing our very best. John Mclean of the Chronicle joining us next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners, a great locally owned, family-run business by the Townsends. At Alamo Water Softeners, they love supporting our community and the military, and they're a proud sponsor and collection point for Operation Interdependence. If you have items to donate to our troops, drop them off at Alamo Water Softeners. They're on the corner of Thousand Oaks and Wetmore. If you need a water softener, and let's face it, we all do in San Antonio, call Alamo Water Softeners, 210-274-6122. At Alamo Water Softeners, they offer you high-quality, low-cost, low-maintenance water softeners for your home. And when you call them and mention my name, Jason Minix, you'll receive free basic installation. You'll also get a free reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of select new Alamo Water Softeners. They're the kind of company you want to do business with. Your all-in-one water solution. Remember the Alamo Water Softeners, 210-274-6122 or alamowatersofteners.com.
Don't set your fantasy lineups without consulting the Fantasy Gods. Brandon Medina and Michael Jimenez help get your fantasy football lineup set. The Fantasy Gods, every Sunday morning from 11 to noon on 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Craving wings? Wingstop. They now deliver. You can go to wingstop.com and get that great flavor delivered right to your door, because Wingstop brings the flavor. It's their thing. 11 mouth-watering sauces and dry rubs, freshly made just for you. Go to wingstop.com or download and order right off of the Wingstop app, because they're continuing to feed your wing crave through carryout and delivery, including the option for no contact delivery. So you can order and go pick them up, or you can just have it brought right to you. You can count on Wingstop for classic and boneless wings. There is no wrong answer. Whatever you prefer and whatever flavor you want. 11 of those mouth-watering sauces and dry rubs. The fries, fresh cut every day and tossed in that addictive sweet and salty seasoning. And, of course, their house-made dips of ranch and blue cheese to top off your order. For lunch, for dinner, for late at night, wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Nobody beats the low prices at Mother's Window Tint, your car, stereo, and auto security headquarters. Nobody beats our prices on high-quality performance window tint and expert installation. It's essential to protect yourself and your family from the sun's hot rays and car thieves. Save $100 off regular winter prices when you purchase the Mother's Window Tint and Alarm package. This is a deal. Save $100 off our regular winter prices now at the start of summer. Limited to stock on hand. For 36 years, Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm special. Want to make your car go thump, 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 mother thump? Premium car stereos on sale. Sony, Kicker, JVC, JBL, Diamond, Kenwood, Memphis Audio, all on sale. GPS, remote start systems, all on sale. Save $100 on the Mother's Window Tint and Alarm special. Nobody beats the low prices at Mother's Window Tint, your car, stereo, and auto security headquarters. Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm special. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Ready Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, zero interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, zero interest on anything and everything starting September 1st at Diamonds Direct. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Nobody plans on getting arrested, but it happens. Get out of jail fast by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. Call AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans and are open 24/7. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. The Camera Exchange is open for in-store and curbside. Shopping for a Nikon? The Camera Exchange has them. Check out the all-new Nikon Z5, designed for creativity and ease of use, perfect for entry-level photographers. Or the versatile Nikon Z6 or Nikon Z7 mirrorless cameras that allow you to take great photos and 4K video. Depending on your photography needs, these Nikons are perfect and come with a Nikon limited warranty. The Camera Exchange, 1 mile inside Loop 410 on San Pedro. Online at camerax.com.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities, or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities. And the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Ask for it at the Mopar Service Center at your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealership.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what a full court press is in basketball, right? Full defensive coverage with no holes. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. It runs on America's best networks, same as big carriers, but for a lot less. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G, for up to 50% less than the big carriers. No contract, full coverage, 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
It is the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. It's Thursday. It's well after 5. It's time. Let's welcome aboard John Mclean of the Houston Chronicle. John, welcome aboard, man. How's your day?
My days look great. Thank you very much for asking.
So 2 weeks from tonight, Texans-Chiefs, the season opener. The Texans with a scrimmage tonight, and they are still going through with it tonight at 7 o'clock there at NRG. When you think about this team, typically with no preseason games, you would have a better idea. But do they appear ready to start the season in 2 weeks, games that count?
Well, nobody knows that until you do it, of course, Jason. But I wrote a column today that there's no starting jobs available on this team, and there's very few backup jobs available on this team because they have a lot of veteran players. Rookies are behind on every team, including this one. So you better have veterans, and if they know your system, that's even better. Now, they've got 4 new starters from other teams. That would be Brandon Cooks at wide receiver, Randall Cobb slot receiver, David Johnson running back, and Eric Murray at safety. And they've got a couple of guys who started some games in the past who are starting, like nose tackle Brandon Dunn and cornerback Lonnie Johnson Jr. But basically they have 4 guys who came from other teams, and they're all been in the league at least 5 years. So it's easier for them to adapt. The problem is anybody ready to go to Arrowhead Stadium. Texans won up there 31-24 in regular season. Patrick Mahomes threw 3 touchdown passes, but the Texans ran the ball really, really well against the Chiefs. And then, of course, they led 24-0 in the playoff game and blew it 51-31 because their special teams and defense just cratered. So they're not going to be intimidated by the crowd, of course. I think there'll be like 20,000 there. And so if they can win in regular season last year, Mike Eaton can win in regular season this year.
John Mclean of the Houston Chronicle here on the Blitz for his weekly appointment. Any talk of the Texans taking a practice, boycotting a practice, or anything between now and the first game of the week, or any kind of response coming from the Texans organization?
We haven't been able to talk to anybody, and we won't till tonight. They've got a game in 2 weeks, so it doesn't surprise me they didn't postpone their scrimmage. They had a plan to postpone tonight's scrimmage because of Hurricane Laura, and that didn't happen. But we've been unable to talk to anybody. Going back to George Floyd's death, the Texans have been more proactive than any NFL team that there is, starting with owner Cal McNair, extending down to Coach Bill O'Brien and the players. So I know they'll be doing something. It has nothing to do with Wisconsin, but players would be taking a knee anyway. Bill O'Brien told me on June 11th, yeah, I'll take a knee. And so that's going to happen anyway. But what happened in Kenosha, that has just exacerbated the situation even more. So I think you'll see in the NFL, you'll see players kneeling across the league. Problem with, if you were to walk out of a game, NBA players have been paid. They're playing for playoff money, where in NFL you get paid over 17 weeks. And if you're going to walk out for one and give up a paycheck, for the majority of the players that make the minimum down, that's a huge hit. So I don't expect them to miss any games.
John Mclean of the Houston Chronicle with us here on ESPN San Antonio. Quick side note, and I know especially there in Houston, avoiding the hurricane this week, but hats off to the Houston Chronicle photographers. I saw online the incredible photo gallery of the great local journalism at work, and some of the photos there. Well done by the staff there at the Houston Chronicle. I know you're proud of your colleagues for that work. When you think about the scrimmage tonight, and in most scrimmages are obviously very controlled, situational type things, but with no preseason game, does the scrimmage take on a different meaning or a different approach because there are no preseason games, or will it be like any other scrimmage you would normally see in training camp?
It's not even a real scrimmage, Jason. Thank you very much for what you said about our photographers. Those guys are tremendous, and women. And the Texans will not hit. They will not take anybody to the ground. They haven't done that in practice. What they want to do is have everybody healthy if possible for that first game at Kansas City. Tonight, this is their second one. I didn't know they had a first one until O'Brien told me, well, it's like in a scrimmage the other day. I said, whoa, what scrimmage the other day? So what they do tonight, they go in NRG Stadium for the first time. They'll put on their uniforms. They'll do everything they do at a game, before the game, halftime. But when they're actually on the field, they're more worried about communication devices with the coordinators and Deshaun Watson and linebacker Bernard McKinney. The press box communication with the coaches and the players on the sideline. And they'll do 11-on-11, but it's going to be just like another practice. They'll do a lot of special teams. I expect it to last about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half. Then we'll do Zoom interviews with them. This officially signals the end of training camp. And the worst thing about having training camp during the pandemic is you guys didn't get to come over.
Truth. It has been a very strange training camp as it is broken today. John Mclean joining us here on the Blitz. John, I'm curious, as training camp has come to an end, what practices looked like to you? And you talked about there's not a lot of jobs at stake. There's a lot of veterans in position. Did it seem faster, or did it seem like the fluff had been cut away from practices where they were focusing on just, the things that make that offense great? I'm curious what the feel of practice was this year as according to the previous.
Well, first of all, you got to be careful. I asked Bill O'Brien twice, how does it feel to not have any starting jobs open? And he looks at me like, no coach is ever going to admit that. Well, we got sub packages, and we might come out in 11 or 12 personnel, and we might do this. I said, yeah, but in your base offense and defense, you're set. And they are. But what they did is, everybody had the virtual all-season program. When they finally got at the end of July to come out on the field. They were like newborn colts to get out there and finally get around each other. And they spent a lot of time at it. They worked indoors the first couple of weeks. Then they went outside and worked in the morning. And they know they've got an experienced team. It was about Deshaun Watson developing on-field relationships with his receivers, the offensive line's intact. This is the first time since 2016 that I haven't constantly been bombarded with questions about the offensive line. And because all 5 starters come back and they're pretty good, so all the questions are about new receivers, the defense, the pass rushers, new guys in the secondary, and of course David Johnson, because he was part of the DeAndre Hopkins trade.
You know, it is strange though, and you're right. Every job's there, but yet didn't they bring in a bunch of guys to work out?
Oh yeah, they bring in players constantly. You have to, because you're going to have 16 players on your practice squad, and you can have veterans. You also have to worry about COVID-19. They did not have one positive test by anybody in the organization. Not many teams can make that claim, but they know it's always possible. So I asked them, why are you bringing in snappers? Why are you bringing in holders? They said, you have to do that because of the current circumstances in which they play. So you're going to see every team bringing in players. The problem is, say Jason wants to come here and try out. He comes here on a Sunday and he gets tested, and then he goes to a hotel, stays in his room constantly, comes over Monday morning, gets tested, goes back to his room all day, runs up charges for movies, not going to say what kind. And then Tuesday, he gets tested again, and if he passes 3 days in a row, then he can try out. It is a lonely life on the road for players who are unsigned and get tryouts. And then if Jason wanted to go to the Cowboys, he'd have to start all over for 3 days.
That's why he stayed here. John Mclean of the Houston Chronicle right here on the Blitz. Hey, John, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. Stay safe. We're only 2 weeks away. We're almost there.
Hey, guys, I look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you very much, and you stay safe, too.
John Mclean of the Chronicle right here for his weekly update. Little burst of sunshine right here. Hey, we come back. The Dallas Cowboys had their morning presser. We get to hear from Leighton Vander Esch and the current starting safety, one of the two, Darian Thompson. I can't wait to hear from Leighton. It was a long year last year. We'll hear about how he's going to rebound and renew that defense. Hang on tight. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
And again, the NFL season 2 weeks from tonight. There is high school football starting this week in the outlying areas. You got 5A, 6A high school football about a month away, college a month away. We want to get there, put on your damn mask. If you need a mask, go see Sam at Sammy's Embroidery Club on San Pedro. Sam can take care of all your mask needs. If you're in the medical field, working at a doctor's office, a dentist office, hospital, urgent care center, standalone ER, Sam has the surgical medical mask KN95s and the disposable surgical masks that are certified and FDA approved. In fact, Sam has the contract and has been supplying masks for the city of San Antonio, for Bexar County, surrounding counties, even the state of Illinois, because he is an approved vendor. He's got those medical masks. If you're in the medical field, 210-824-3900. If you need the washable, reusable cloth mask, Sam has those as well, a variety of sizes and colors, even used sizes. In fact, if you're in a Spirit Club, anything for your school, a business owner, a manager, and you want your logo on them, Sam can do that for you as well with a minimum order of 25. Check the website, samsembroidery.com. Get into that massive showroom there on San Pedro. It's a mile inside Loop 410 next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. And you'll know you work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now. Call him 210-824-3900. 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
You follow your friends on Facebook and Twitter, so shouldn't you follow us?
After all, I thought we were friends.
Aren't we? Never get left out. Follow us on Facebook at ESPN San Antonio, Twitter at ESPN_SA, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Win on three. 1, 2, 3, win.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. I'm Kyle Yeomans with today's Cowboys Report. With the absence of preseason games this year, the next few days are crucial in the evaluation process of young players, especially fringe prospects that are looking to make a roster. Quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier has a pair of those young prospects battling for a role, and we hear from him next.
Whether you're getting ready to purchase a home, setting up a college fund for your kids, or preparing for retirement, you're working hard to live a life you love. And you deserve peace of mind knowing your home, loved ones, and future are protected. At SWBC, we can help you assess your personal situation and create a customized solution to make sure you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Visit SWBC.com to learn about your mortgage, insurance, and wealth management options today. That's SWBC.com.
Hey, it's Jalen Smith, linebacker for your Dallas Cowboys. Looking for the right energy plan for your home? When you sign up on the Reliant Cowboys plan, you'll score an autographed football. Yeah, a football signed by yours truly. You'll also get an invitation to a Cowboys autograph session. It's a win-win. Go with Reliant and bring the power home. Call 1-866-RELIANT or visit Reliant.com/Cowboys. Reliant, the official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
Restrictions, terms, and conditions apply. PUCT number 10007.
It's been a training camp of added intensity and shortened opportunities, especially for the two young quarterbacks, Ben DiNucci and Clayton Thorson. Quarterback coach Doug Nussmeier says the two have welcomed the challenge and embraced the unique situation.
And you have two young players that we're really trying to evaluate. It's been challenging. We're trying to do the best we can, and they're doing the best they can. I can't say enough about the work that those guys have put in and understanding it, that there's going to be limited opportunities, and not to get upset about that, but to focus on the opportunities you get and maximize those opportunities.
That's it for today's Cowboys Report. I'm Kyle Yeomans.
Indeed knows a lot of small businesses took a hit recently and are busy trying to figure out plans for the future. So if you're hiring, it means finding the right people is more critical than ever before. Indeed will help you find the quality candidates you need while only paying for what you need. Claim your $75 credit to get more quality candidates fast when you post your first job at Indeed.com/high-impact. That's Indeed.com/high-impact. Terms and conditions apply.
Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, 0 interest on anything and everything starting September 1st at Diamonds Direct. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Changing your oil. We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil and an STP oil filter for just $26.99, plus a $5 bonus reward if you're an AutoZone Rewards member. Not a member? Signing up is easy. You can do it right here in store or on AutoZone.com. Getting the job done just got easier. Terms at AutoZone.com/rewards. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening, who's able to hear more than what's being said, and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
AA Best Bail Bonds presents ESPN San Antonio's Dallas Cowboys Training Camp coverage. Sponsored by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
Dallas Cowboy Training Camp coverage brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds continues. Yesterday, the players had the morning off. It's enough to get a hold of folks. Today, we've already talked with Trayvon Diggs. Earlier, Leighton Vander Esch sat in front of the Zoom conference. Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith were the highlight of last year's training camp. The expectations were super after Smith's, almost miraculous recovery from the drop foot, and Leighton Vander Esch just being everything the Wolf Hunter could have possibly been. But injuries kind of derailed last year. And Jason, when we were talking about Leighton Vander Esch back in February and March, back then, there was legitimate concern that his career might be over.
Well, I mean, you're dealing with a neck injury, and there are some things that Dr. Jerry Jones mentioned that made you go, what? Like career threatening. And I remember when Jerry said that, and we were like, well, when was this the thought that it was career threatening? But, he has recovered from the injury. And for him, the recovery process has been eye-opening, to say the least.
I think it was just everything, just growing up as a man. Obviously, I had never really been in a position like that and an injury of that sort. So it really kind of put things in perspective for me, and just to realize to not take anything for granted, and just to be thankful for every single day that you have playing this amazing game. Because God gifted me to do this. So I'm just blessed to be able to be out there every single day and do
I didn't get that gift.
And so just focusing on just growing as a man, getting better physically, getting stronger. Obviously, because I got weak, I couldn't work out in that time of rehab before my surgery when I was hurt. And then I was down for a month and a half after surgery. But ever since then, it's been total full go for me. It's been a great experience learning certain things about what I can do with my body, rehabbing, everything. It just you really want to just focus on everything, but take things slowly, one at a time, one day at a time, and just keep chipping away.
And you hear an answer like that, and you realize the severity of the injury, and probably the conversations that he had to have about if things don't go right with this surgery or in your rehab, you may never play football again. And he's right. The gifted athletes sometimes take things for granted until it's taken away. And he and Jalen in his rookie year, they look like they could be the best linebacker duo, or one of the top linebacker duos in the NFL for at least a decade. And if Leighton can recover and get back to that form, they certainly still have that opportunity.
We love playing football together. I think we feed off each other very well on the field. So I don't think it really matters we both have leadership roles. And we both have to be out there. We're the quarterbacks of the defense. So regardless of who's calling plays, we still got to get everybody lined up.
And they just got to get after it. And that's exactly what we expect from them this year.
That neck surgery, it was a stinger that just kind of lingered. And, normally you kind of get over those things, and it ended up being surgery. And there was some talk of some stenosis issues. And when you hear that, you really get worried. But obviously the time has turned him into a hungry football player, one that appears he wants to be the team captain, right? This is a guy that's eating this stuff up and is becoming the he's obviously not going to be the leader, because you feel like that's D-Law's job. And as long as Sean Lee is strolling around, everybody's going to defer to him. But I'm trying to define what is next for Leighton Vander Esch. Is he going to become that guy?
I mean, he's a junior senator now, and he is campaigning for higher office.
I want the weight to be on my shoulders. I want to be able to get everybody lined up. Like I said, I want to be that leader of the defense this year and just make sure everybody's in the right spots. And just so we can fly around and make plays and get the ball for our offense. That's really what our ultimate goal is. And just to get that ball back every single chance, every single chance the ball's in the air, we can go get it. It's free game. Putting yourself in position to make good, hard tackles where you can go after the ball as you make the tackle, just having it on your mind at all times. Just being that leader out there, that vocal leader for them, knowing that they can lean on me, that I'm going to give them everything I got on the field. Like I said, because it put things in perspective for me last year, missing half the season and just not taking things for granted, and just knowing I got to go out there every single play and just put it out there on the line for my teammates and the coaches and just have fun doing it.
Leighton Vander Esch speaking in front of the press today about becoming the leader. I think that he took some self-talk and some self-doubt, turned that around and decided, I'm going to lead this football team and be the guy that makes it easier for everybody else to fly around, make plays, and get the ball.
Well, and again, if you're going to be a leader, and linebackers typically are, because they call the plays, they call the coverages, they help the defensive linemen making sure they're getting everything there. So you've got to have that strong presence. He and Jalen both do. And you're right. I think D-Law is D-Law, and he will be, if he's not the leader, the enforcer, if you will, of the law, pun intended. But he's got all the makings of it, from a small town, what he did at Boise State and what he did his rookie year, and a different perspective coming into this year following the injuries of last.
The mantle of leadership, it's tough to take if you're not fully comfortable in the defense first. You have to be able to, secondary action is the actual playing. Your first job out there as the captain, that defensive captain, is call the plays. That's a big step for a young guy, especially coming off of only playing half a season last year.
Well, and he talks about being prepared to call the games.
It's just being prepared, knowing your calls, studying before practice. Obviously, we have our install meetings before the night before, so you could think you could go home and just not worry about it. But you install new stuff the night before, and you got to be ready for practice first thing in the morning, and it's early. So you got to get yourself going, but you got to be vocal. You can't just slowly work into it in the morning practice. You have to be firing on all cylinders from the second the clock starts in practice. So just having fun with that, knowing that you're prepared that morning when you put the pads on to go out there and practice and get everybody lined up.
Captain, he will be soon. And
I like it.
He does remind you a lot of Sean Lee in that respects, and Jalen is as well. But the one knock on Sean Lee was his availability, staying healthy. It's hard to be a leader if you're not out there with your guys. Leighton dealt with injuries last year. Hopefully that's not the norm for Leighton Vander Esch, so he can truly develop those leadership skills.
AA Best Bail Bonds bring you Dallas Cowboys Training Camp coverage every day. We do it on the 30s, socially distanced, of course. Brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds and Ewald Kubota. We'll be right back with what's on tap. The weekend opens up before us. We'll tell you what you'll be doing. Hang on. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Your home for the Texas Rangers all season long.
This is Poch Rodriguez of the Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers baseball, powered by GPS of Texas.
You are listening to San Antonio Sport Leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM.
Jason and Rob here. We both love to grill, and you do. Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday at 6, brought to you by Tri-County Meat Market.
Submit your favorite recipes and grilling pictures on ESPNSA.com for your chance to win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market, the Heathner location. We'll give you a winner every week.
So what are you grilling this weekend? Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday at 6, brought to you by Tri-County Meat Market. Submit your recipe and pictures now at ESPNSA.com for your chance to win.
Getting ready for the hangover without the headache. The Saturday Morning Hangover. Saturday mornings 9 to 11. James Pledger and Jack Thompson bring you the latest on the Cowboys, Spurs, Texans, Longhorns, Aggies, Red Raiders, Roadrunners, and more. Check out the Saturday Morning Hangover. Saturday mornings 9 to 11. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. Dak Prescott will play out the year on the franchise tag. What does that mean for his future in Dallas?
The decision will come next year. You forced upon me the minimum wage. That's $31.5. You're going to get paid the minimum according to what is out there. It's up to you to get paid more. And if you do, I'm already paying it. I am fully prepared to go there. The next issue, though, will be Dak wanted a 4-year deal. Well, next year as we sit, it will be a 3-year deal. And does Jerry value Dak enough to pay him that kind of money, knowing full well that when everybody else across the league suddenly is ripe with cash and the salary cap goes up, that the suitors, the bidders are going to come call? Jerry knows if you're a free agent when everybody got money, and I've already got 2 dudes getting paid $20 million, I'm going to have to pay a couple, 2 or more to come up with that cap. And I've got a CeeDee Lamb that in a couple years is going to start asking for some cash. I got to find a way to keep Michael Gallup, and I got to find a way out of Amari Cooper. And I'm still paying Zeke, and I got an offensive lineman issue. I got to have every penny.
The Blitz, weekdays 4 to 7, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz.
I'm confused.
I am too. We gonna push it real good?
What? Now I'm really confused.
It's Thursday afternoon.
Are we on?
It's time for
Is this thing on?
Is this on? It's time for What's on Tap, brought to you by Sam.
The Blitz with Jason and Rob want to let you know what's on tap. Brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint.
For those of you new to the show, we do this every Thursday afternoon. What's on Tap is so we can tell you what's going on around our great city over the weekend. We got tired of not knowing, so we cull the many, websites of things that are happening around our city, and we let you know that's what's going on. Sam's Burger Joint brings it to you every week. Now, right now, if you want to go see some live stuff, the LOL Comedy Club is busy tonight. John the Polar Bear Gonzalez is going to be performing. It says sold out, but is anything ever really sold out? You know, there's got to be a ticket broker out there somewhere who might have you a little prime seat with just a small fee for the service of finding that ticket. You know,
I think in this day and age, that might be a little bit harder.
Well, you never know.
You know,
never know. You must be popular selling
social
out like
distancing.
that. Corey Holcomb's coming too. Did you set aside your date, Jason? Corey Holcomb will be there tomorrow night.
Which Corey is he?
The funny one.
Okay.
The EY.
I hope so.
He's a genius that
so.
transcends class and racial divides, Jason. People all over the world have been able to relate to the drama of trying to make a relationship work. And Corey Holcomb, well, either he or she, I'm not sure, has had his or her heart broken and has made it quite humorous.
He's been the victim of a hostile takeover by the female in a relationship. Sounds like
Who
the perfect
hasn't,
date
though,
night.
really?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that sounds like the perfect Bumble date to me. I just met you. First date? Yeah. That sounds
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, well, they're going off with LOL as they stay open and active. Good for them. Pick's Bar tonight. They got the ancient and I was going to say something. They got karaoke going on with Retro Nouveau karaoke.
But again, Pick's has live music all weekend. Tomorrow night, Jen E and the Dealers. Saturday, a local band called Love Killed the Hero. I've actually seen them before. That's a good night out. You'll enjoy that. On Sunday, Rob, Honey Bunny will be performing out there. Not Honey Buns. It's not Sticky. It's Honey Bunny.
I hear tell it's a duo. Is it a brother-sister act? What exactly is going on with Honey Bunny?
I don't know.
What kind of music does Honey Bunny play? Pablo Cruz kind of stuff? California Chill?
They're playing from 4 to 8.
Some Jack Johnson? Oh, okay. 4 to 8.
Yeah.
So are their parents there to video that?
Apparently. They got Zoom school on Monday morning.
I'm completely blowing them up. I might actually like them. Honey Bunny will be going up on Sunday.
They work really hard at their craft.
I know.
And you're just over here belittling it all.
I know.
If you're in a band and you have a gig, because I've seen some rolling around, tweet us at Rob Thompson ESPN. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. Pledge you put this together. You forgot the headline event on Saturday night, man. Metallica.
That's right.
Yeah. You spent all this time. What's the word you always use when you put this thing together?
Cultivating.
You cultivated this and forgot Metallica?
Well, apparently that was harder to find.
With all due respect, I don't think it was that hard.
Plus, it's pre-recorded.
You got to work on your cultivation skills. Well, everything else is a live stream that's pre-recorded. Come on, man. I have plans on Saturday night for the first time, and I don't know how long. And it doesn't make the list.
So that would be Metallica over here at the Six Flags Fiesta, Texas.
Yeah,
they have the drive-in going on in their big parking lot, right? They do two a night. Two. Are you going to the early or the late, or is it just one?
I think it's just one. I didn't know I had an option.
I've been.
Here's what's crazy about this thing is is, I'm all ready to go. It's Metallica, so, there's certain things involved. And I got a fantasy draft that starts at 7 where I have the number 1 pick. I don't know if well, again, you got the number 1 pick. Do you want to go auto draft? But I want to do plenty of day drinking before I get out there. But then there's all these things I'm trying to figure out. Are the bathrooms open, and how far away are they if I'm in my car?
Depends if you have premium parking or not.
See, Jason, that is the sign of an adult right there. You go, you know what? I'm planning on doing some day drinking now before I move forward. See, the younger generation would have just started drinking. And they'd have arrived, certainly not driving themselves. They'd arrived and they'd have been in this big, wide open parking lot and realized there are no bathrooms. And then, laughter-filled squalor ensues. As an adult, you go, hey, I need to ensure if there's bathrooms. And that's the first thing that...
Well, and then I'm trying to figure out, do they let you out of your car? See, I've heard both. Some have said they've gone to the Fiesta Texas drive-ins and require you to stay in your car. Well, I don't necessarily know that I want to stay in my car. I can take 6 on my 1 ticket. So I think I need to find somebody that has a big-ass truck. So, because if I'm in the back of a truck, that's one thing.
You can sit. I've seen pictures. I think you can sit in lawn chairs. But you got to stay on your spot.
Yeah, you got to stay in your, around your car.
Yeah, but I think you can.
You can't sit for Metallica. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
I've gone to 2 movies. I haven't sat for 3 seconds.
Well, you don't know how to sit for 3 seconds.
Gosh, I cannot wait to see a camera filming like a bunch of, average Metallica fans. I'm not going to go any further than that. Standing out like in 1s and 2s in front of their car, jamming out. I cannot wait to. I need somebody to just take a GoPro and stick it up on a pole so I can see what that looks like, what that would look like from the stage.
What if they do like the Say Anything thing where they bring boom boxes and hold it up over their heads so they can hear it? Because you got to tune it to a radio station.
Well, and then the idea that, you have to be over 6 feet tall to do any crowd surfing because, if you're 5'7" like I am, you violate all the social distancing rules. So there will be no crowd surfing at Fiesta.
Is there crowd surfing normally at a Metallica concert?
No.
Are they ever seen or heard from again? I don't know, man.
Sounds like a good way to break a hip at a Metallica concert.
It was the crowd surf of 03. He went back and never saw him again. That's how it ended. All right, so James takes great pleasure in cultivating a variety of live streams that you can now partake of at certain times. You might not be able to see the show, but you can find the show. And if you want to, go to espnsa.com. Out the website, we've got all of what's following. All the links are available to you. It's like today, or I guess this morning, but I'm sure that you can find it again. Is that Ellie or Eli? It's Ellie, right? Ellie Goulding had a show this morning at 4:30 in the morning. I'm sure that was live, 4:30 a.m.
Well, she's in Europe, so yeah, probably.
All right.
Okay, the Brightest Blue Experience from who is Ellie Goulding? I've heard that name.
We've literally done this before.
Okay, didn't register. As soon as I said that, I realized it. Melissa Etheridge, her nonstop filibuster live stream continues. It seems like Melissa Etheridge is always live streaming, but you can check it out. Go to ESPNSA.com. Hit that link.
Exactly.
Go to her
Grateful
window.
Dead's Sunshine Daydream concert.
Did you ever get into Grateful Dead?
No.
I mean, they have one song, "Truckin'," I think is the one that I actually downloaded. But for an iconic band, I don't know anybody that other than the guys that are like in the lifestyle that have,
the Deadheads.
The
lifestyle, you mean your pothead friends?
The Deadheads.
No. Actually, I was going the tie-dyed lifestyle.
Oh,
I mean, there is a certain tie-dyed
the Bill
lifestyle.
Walton lifestyle.
That they get a little bit of patchouli stink to them, a little bit of the firm believers in natural fibers, whether they're being worn or smoked. But there are those types. Other than them, I don't know anything about the Dead other than that one song.
Is Bill Walton their most famous fan?
I'm sure. I couldn't. It's the only fan I can name, so I'll go with yes. The Grateful Dead Sunshine Daydream. Check it out right there. Now, Country Sway's Summer Sway Streamathon. I did that in one take. We'll be going on the the 27th through the 30th. It features more than 40 artist performances and benefits the Music Health Alliance. Artists set to perform include the world-famous Brandon Allen. Tim Atwood will be there if he can get off work. David Burns is available, and Katie Calhoun can get it all tuned up and perform as well. I don't know any of these people.
Me neither.
Do you know Hayden Haddock?
Lauren Davidson, don't know. Simon Casey? No.
And Brian Callahan. It's a veritable who's who and who's that performing for the Country Sways
Cornucopia
Streamathon and going on down at the corner of 5th and Main. All right, let's keep moving on there.
Here's another one for you on Saturday. We Banjo 3 presents Follow the Light, Rob.
Woo!
It's got a bunch of world famous people too. Banjo 3 signature Heart and Humor, the Immerse live event, WB3, Gaelic Storm. Sharon Shannon, Nathan Carter.
What was that?
Sharon Shannon.
What's Gaelic Storm? Why did you go on Gaelic Storm?
Gaelic Storm. It's just an interesting name.
Oh,
have you ever seen the Gaelic Football League?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's a sport I would have played.
It's a storm.
I got sidetracked there. What's your over under?
Aren't you?
How long can you listen to banjo music? If I was to begin to play you the finest banjo piece ever performed, and it might be the Beverly Hillbillies. That's my only point of reference. How long could you sit and listen to a banjo concert?
3 minutes.
About the length of the intro of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah. 3 minutes.
Deliverance, one or the other.
What was the show that used to? I don't even remember, but yeah, about 3 minutes.
You talking about Hee Haw?
Yeah, there you go.
Talking about Buck?
Exactly. Yeah.
You're talking about Roy Clark was picking.
Yep.
Buck was grinning.
You're scaring me.
I shouldn't be. Let's see what we got. Anything else of substance? We do. The Abbott brothers will be performing. There we go. See, right now it's an interesting kind of. It's a nice change. And now, see, from here on out, when you hear the banjo, it seems like it should be leading up to something else, but something else never comes. Like another instrument. Nope. Now, when you hear this, what's your mental picture right now? What do you see in your head?
A guy with snaps his buttons.
That's not what I had in my mind, but
what did you have?
Just something completely different.
And if you're watching on Facebook Live and you see Pledge, just another reason to go get a beer and just decide you need to drive to the corner store to get it.
I got another question. Is it possible to write a sad song and play it in a banjo tune?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're playing banjo, it's sad. That means you weren't good enough for bass or electric.
I don't know, man. I think the banjo is so hard.
There is some talent there, but I'm with you. They're just there needs to be more.
What's on Tap is brought to you by Sam'sBurgerJoint.com for a menu and all things going on in the Sam's Burger Joint. Go to Sam'sBurgerJoint.com. When we come back, we know what we're going to be doing, but what you going to be eating? Let's talk some grilling when we come back. What you going to put on the grill and where you going to go get that meat? We have an idea about all that. We'll talk about it next. Here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio. Yeah! 94.5 FM.
Hey, we're both working toward a common goal. Quitting time! This is San Antonio's sports leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
If you're a bacon lover, I've got great news for you. This is Michael Kilbasa with Kilbasa Smoked Meats. Our authentic dry-cured bacon is now available at grocery stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies and our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. Kilbasa Smoked Meats, slow-crafted in Texas since 1949.
Ready for a positive 2020 surprise? Here's one from Diamonds Direct. The return of our best offer ever. 5 years, zero interest financing. Yes! Starting Monday the 31st, backed by popular demand. Pick any item. Get the amazing value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. And you can even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. 5 years, zero interest on anything and everything starting September 1st at Diamonds Direct. Get details, directions, and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
We all have health goals. But let's face it, you are living in some fantasy world if you think you are suddenly about to start eating better. In fact, have you thought of this? How many different servings of fruit have you eaten today? How many servings of vegetables? And sorry, Dad, French fries and ketchup don't count. The experts recommend eating over 10 servings of fruits and vegetables each day. That's where Balance of Nature comes in. With 3 fruit and 3 veggie capsules, Balance of Nature gives you all your daily recommended servings and contains 31 different fruits and vegetables. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off any new preferred order of fruits and veggies. Change your life now by calling 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or by going to balanceofnature.com and make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code FRUITS.
KCDC San Antonio.
This is UFC President Dana White. San Antonio sports leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM, where the pros play. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz. Here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at espnsa.com. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. We are broadcasting separately, socially distanced in our O'Reilly Auto Parts mobile studios while James Pledger functions appropriately in the glass box of fun. We got a full hour headed your way. If you're a Ranger fan tuning in right now, expecting to be about in the third inning of the Rangers A's game, the game being boycotted by the Oakland A's. The Rangers, of course, in full agreement with them, and they're taking the day. The game will be replayed or added on to a single game that's up there on September the 12th. They'll get a double header going, but by that time it will be football season, and the Rangers will be well out of it by then. But by now, we'll look forward to having them on.
That they're well in it. But speaking of baseball, there's an interesting baseball story developing with the New York Mets. Their general manager around a hot mic. And a hot mic means a live mic, so those that are recording it can pick it up. Well, the general manager apparently is relaying messages that he's getting from his owner and whoever, talking to Rob Manfred, who apparently Rob Manfred was trying to force the Mets to play the game, come out at 7:10 and leave the field symbolically, but then come back an hour later and play the game. He's trying to force the games to still be played, as because the scheduling logistics, if you don't play today on a Thursday, a lot of Thursday getaway games, because they're going to be in different cities, and the scheduling nightmare that somebody's going to have to deal with all these games that are not being forfeited. They're not being postponed. They will be made up at a later date. But the look that Rob Manfred has with trying to symbolically do one thing but still get the game in is got some baseball people calling for Rob Manfred's job. One of them, Keith Olbermann, who is all over Manfred, saying, dude, you can't do that. And if you're really trying to do that, you need to resign.
There's a point there, though. If this is what they finally get Manfred on after 1,000 other attempts, more power to him. And this does come on the heels of, everybody saw the Dom Smith sound yesterday regarding, what was his quote? Being a black man in America isn't easy, through tears and the raw emotion there. You put that involved with the Ron Manfred thing. Yeah, you have to be very mindful of your words now, because both silence and the words can mean volumes. We're taking roll now. You have to. We need to know exactly where everybody stands, and silence means you stand one way or the other. Rob Manfred getting in there. We're going to start doing. Jason and I have And I think this has become kind of an American thing in the quarantine times. We all started out staying at home and finding ways to keep ourselves entertained. And Jason and I just dove into our grills. I mean, full force. The menu was all we talked about all week long. And we compared pictures of what are you cooking today and how are you going to cook here. And Jason's upgraded his grill game to world class. And we're doing so on a weekly. We're going to start to specifically talking about grilling and items that we're going to grill and where we're going to go get them over at Tri-County Meats over on Huebner. You've already begun the weekend today. And again, because of the boycott, you would have already been cooking your chicken standing over your grill. What are you cooking right now, Jason?
Well, I've got the pollo asada chicken that I got the marinade ready. You're right. I should have it on there now, but we're going till 7, so it will go on there.
I thought
later,
you'd already started.
No, not yet.
You got a Traeger. It cooks itself.
Yeah, it's a miracle thing. It's like the Jetsons.
I've got the Traeger, so I've done the pollo asada chicken a couple of times on the old propane grill, and then when I got the pellet smoker, the Traeger, I can't wait to try that chicken on the Traeger, because when you go to Pollo Asada Los Norteños, they're known for their smoke. That's how they do it. So I've got a recipe that's theirs.
Does your chicken come out orange when after it's after marinade pre-grill? What color's the chicken?
It's a little bit kind of a pinkish red, not quite that orange. Although there is 2 cups of orange juice and some Worcestershire and soy sauce in there, and then of course the key ingredient is paste, and that's red. But I can't wait to try this with the smoke.
What kind of paste? Adobo?
Dude, I'd have to go get the box and show you.
That's an important part of this. We'd all like to make it ourselves.
Well, see, I mean, that's the thing. We some recipes are secret.
So next week, those secret recipes, post the picture at espnsa.com, and your secret recipe might actually have a dollar value to it. We're going to be giving away gift cards to Tri-County Meats starting next week with for the best recipe, best picture. Let's celebrate our meat prowess.
Well, and that's it. Because I've never been good at grilling. And with this job and 12 and a half years of getting off work at 7, you get home around 8. You never grilled during the week. And pre-pandemic on my weekends, I was home. So 15, 20 years ago, and I tried to grill. More of those nights ended up with a Papa John's delivery. And so I decided during this pandemic, I was going to get good at something, because barbecue is my favorite food group. You're great at grilling. And, every year in Oxnard, we do steak night at the beach house, all that kind of stuff. And, you've got quite the outdoor kitchen setup. So I've learned a lot from you and just kind of taking it from there. And so the fun part is, all the photos I've started posting on Facebook when I started grilling was more just to get the political crap broken up a little bit, but also getting ideas from people that are much more experienced. And the grilling community is awesome. And, it's whether the DMs are public, the amount of people that send various recipes and photos of their food. And so now, like you said, submit them at espnsa.com starting next week. Weekly, we are giving away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. It's going to be awesome.
So, one of the things as you start getting grilling is you do the same things over and over and you start getting tired of it. And after a while, you start branching out. And this is what I really want this show to be. I want to see what people are doing out of the norm. I mean, we've all done briskets and we've all grilled some chicken. Show me something new and unique, because we all have our own personal recipes and we can brag on them and share them. But, let's expand our repertoire. I don't know about you, Jason, but I in the Express, I follow Chuck Blunt. He's the Chuck's Food guy.
Yeah.
Day before yesterday, he put something out about grilling something that I have never even tried before, trompo al pastor, and which is basically thin cuts of pork butt that's shaved real small, put on skewers in between every one of the slabs of meat, the pieces of meat that are about a half-inch thick. You put a slice of pineapple, meat pineapple, meat, pineapple, meat, pineapple, and you create this kind of a spray-on marinade using orange juice and a variety of things, and it's all on this big skewer. Now, the key to this, and when you have it on the Mexican street food type of thing, is they have a vertical burner, and as it turns, it cooks the meat, and as it cooks, the fat drips down, and it just kind of keeps everything unctuous and delicious underneath, and you just kind of carve it from the side. I don't have a vertical heater unit. I'm going to have to do something, either stand it up inside of a smoker, inside maybe the Komodo egg, or inside of the grill to cook it that way. And then you just kind of shave it off as you want it, and you cook it all the way in. So you can start eating even though it's not all done, because the outside edge will be done before the inside edge, if that makes some sense. I think I'm going to dive in and try that this weekend. And the key to this is going to a butcher that will do the meat the way that you want it. And when you go to like Tri-County over on Hebner, you can talk to the butcher and get the cut the way that you exactly want it. Now, certainly we can all go find meat in a lot of different places, but getting the meat the way that you want it is really a key to going to the meat purveyors, the experts. And not only do you get that from the guys behind the counter at Tri-County, they'll tell you how to cook stuff, but they'll also do the things that you need to do to have the meat the way that you want to make it the very best.
Oh, that does sound fantastic. And again, a lot of it's the creativity, the way you're doing it, the different rubs you're doing, and that's the other thing about barbecue is everybody has their own particular taste. Like I don't want a lot of sauce on my ribs. Other people want to lather it on there, and if that's your preference, that's your preference. But the rubs or the different sauces that you're using, it's interesting, and then of course the debates, like you mentioned, briskets, fat side up, fat side down, and some of that might be what you're cooking it on too. But the debate there is even crazy. So I think we'll have a lot of fun with this.
Fat side up or down? Mm-hmm. Which way do you go?
Well, I've only done one brisket, and I did fat side up. And again, in a Traeger, it's not like you're trying to protect the meat from a flame, because there is no flame coming from underneath.
Right. I was raised fat side up. But then again, it's the beans and chili or not. If it turns out all right, it doesn't really matter. All right, let's talk some sports when we come back. The NBA is going to play. We think we're going to find out whether it's going to be Friday or Saturday. There's a very high-end meeting going to be going on actually right as we speak between players and owners. Now, this is not a confrontation between the two, but it is a request, I believe, from the players to get a bigger and ongoing commitment from NBA owners, as once again the players see the anger both inside and out after the Jacob Blake shooting there in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We're going to look at the NBA and also Dallas Cowboy Training Camp coverage brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Darian Thompson is, as of today, it appears to be the starting safety with the Dallas Cowboys. We don't know how long that will last, but we're going to hear from him as well. Got a lot to talk about, and we want you to hang around with us. Stay here. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
AA Best Bail Bonds presents ESPN San Antonio's Dallas Cowboys Training Camp coverage. Sponsored by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Ewald Kubota, and Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Tune into the Blitz from 4 to 7 for exclusive interviews and more.
Blake Stevens with San Antonio-based GPS of Texas. If you have commercial vehicles on the road, you're a target for personal injury lawyers. I mean, you're wearing a bullseye. Our system can protect you if there is an accident with proof of speed, video monitoring, even proof that your driver wasn't on his phone. Don't get hammered. Have real proof that you weren't at fault by installing our GPS camera tracking system. Call GPS of Texas at 210-587-7634 or gpsoftexas.com.
What do the Spurs do with DeMar heading into next year?
That doesn't mean the Spurs won't trade him next year, because that's an imminent thing as well. But I would be very comfortable thinking that if that was indeed the plan, DeMar he and the Spurs would work together to make that deal happen.
If you're reading tea leaves, the percentage of DeMar staying pre-bubble, I didn't think were very good. Post-bubble, much higher. Now, the agent will get involved. The real free agent market for him, his agent is going to present that to him, and then he'll make a business decision. And then, how much is chasing a ring versus the business part of it. But the idea of him staying, as opposed to it being a foregone conclusion, the unhappiness that we thought he was experiencing here, all that seems to have changed down in Orlando.
For everything Spurs, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
That is the Blitz. Welcome aboard ESPN San Antonio. Let's do some housekeeping real quick. For those of y'all been playing with the AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboy Training Camp coverage, we're going to hit that in just a couple of minutes. But we're running out of time for you to win the Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys swag. We got an awesome. It's an kind of a metal-sided cooler, all kind of old school Dallas Cowboys swagged out, made by Miller Lite that we're giving away this week. And the only way that you can win is go to ESPNSA.com, click on that training camp icon, get yourself registered. You could get what we want. Again, Miller Lite's the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. I'm looking in the camera. You know, are you a T-shirt wearer, Jason? I'm looking in there, and I keep seeing my T-shirt, and it's unnerving me. I'm not using.
Oh, you mean a T-shirt under your shirt? No,
undershirt wear, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, undershirt, because I either wear a golf shirt or a T-shirt. So, but I don't wear a shirt underneath my shirt. I don't want. I'm not a T-shirt guy.
I'm a two-shirt guy, and I don't know where that came from, but I am, and I'm disconcerted by seeing my undershirt. It's like something that shouldn't be seen. I don't know. I'm back. That was just for those that are following along at ESPNSA.com or our Facebook page. It is this is the Zoom life. Here's the best way. I don't know how to say this. I don't look in the mirror very often. I get up in the morning, I comb my hair, brush my teeth. That's been for most of my 54 years of life. I looked in the mirror once a day. That's it. If something had gone south, I was not going to know unless somebody told me. But now in the Zoom world, you spend hours looking at yourself over and over. And depending on the clarity of the picture, I look and go, what is that? Oh, my God, what is that on my face? I didn't even know that was there.
Start calling you Robin. I mean, my God.
I looked in and I saw my T-shirt. I thought, I shouldn't.
You started the show without a hat on, realized your hair was jacked, and put on a hat.
No, I had good hair today. I showered. I was clean, man.
But then why'd you go put on a hat?
Actually, you know why? I walked into my son's old room as he's gone off to college, and I saw one of my baseball caps that I thought I had lost to him. And I just thought, well, if I don't grab it right now, what are my chances of finding it again? So I just put it on my head, and I actually forgot about it.
So why were you in your son's room in the middle of the show?
It was before the show. Did the show already start? No,
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. My wife is doing her. She's teaching from that room. That's become her classroom. And I just walked in to say hi. And I walked in and I saw the hat and I went, "Hey!" And I put it on, which is going to kind of suck now.
Find in your son's room.
Because if I don't know if you're about like me, but once you get hat hair, there's no going back. You're gonna have to go shower and wash your hair, or put on another hat. And
Or
I'm freshly
go
bathed and showered, and I put on a hat today, which means unless I get up and shower tomorrow, which is probably pretty unlikely. I don't have any high-end meetings tomorrow. You're gonna see me in a hat again, and normally I like to. The hat is the last effort because I don't want to,
See,
clean
or you could
myself.
roll like James Pledger, and you don't know if he has hat hair or if he did his hair that way on purpose.
Hey, chicks in New York pay top dollar for that, man.
They do.
Some people have to pay for that. Pledge is just born with it.
He just rolls out of bed and goes.
Some are born to greatness, my friends.
I mean, Pledge has the incredible ability to blow dry and do his hair, spend 30 minutes on it to look like Bedhead. It's amazing.
This was not begun to dog you at all. Not at all. There we go. Another reason to go to ESPNSA.com in the last segment. Let's get into the Dallas Cowboys real quick. We're going to have Trayvon Diggs on in just a couple of minutes. Now, Trayvon, that young rookie cornerback, one of the points of need for the Dallas Cowboys. They got him in the second round, quite frankly, because their first round pick was too good to pass up. And Trayvon Diggs' training camp seems to be going quite well, and he'll join us here in just a couple of minutes. But before we get there, one of his running buddies there on the defensive backfield side is Darian Thompson. Now, Darian is he's not a journeyman. I don't want to say that this guy's, bounced from place to place, but he is a 5-year pro and got to the Cowboys from the Giants and has always been serviceable and had a role in special teams. But I don't think any of us coming into the season thought Darian Thompson was slated as one of the starting safeties over Clinton Diggs, but by every measure and by several sources, has had a terrible training camp. And as we said today, Darian Thompson looks to be one of the starting safeties.
Well, and again, I mean, he is a pro, but when you bring in a Clinton Diggs, you do pencil him in as a starter. But, you know, Darian talked with the media today over Zoom. He wasn't worried about his undershirt or not. But, you know, you think about his journey has prepared him for beating out a guy like Clinton Diggs.
It's been a rough journey. It's been a long journey. This year 5, like you said, I played for the Giants, started for the Giants, went through some injuries, a couple of team changes. Just kept my faith in God, stay strong with the word, and continue to work. So, like I said, that's what I'm doing now. I can't tell you what the future will hold, but I can tell you that day in and day out, I'll do the best I can.
Well, and right now, that is going out there, making plays, and trying to earn that starting job. And again, he has been a starter before. Granted, it was with the New York Giants, and you know, it's you've got there. You've got all the talk of Earl Thomas, and quite frankly, he doesn't give a damn about Earl Thomas.
No, it doesn't bother me because there's nothing I can control. I'm here. I'm doing my job and doing the best I can every day to get better. What goes on outside of here is really not my concern.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and I don't want to sound like I'm downgrading Darian Thompson. He might be having a fine camp, but it seems like it is not that Darian has been a pleasant surprise, that he showed up and did something different apart from this previous 4 years with the Cowboys that brought him to the forefront of being a potential everyday starter. It's because Clinton Diggs hasn't lived up to expectations that it sounds like Darian has taken the job by default. So that doesn't lend me any solace. I don't feel more comfortable because Darian's there. It just feels like, well, he's here and he hasn't made too many mistakes, but it just lends that argument. Why is Earl Thomas still lingering out there as they wait for the dollar values for his contract to fall if they're literally going with what would have been a backup if would have been half of what they expected?
Well, I think part of it is you got penciled in as a starter, but here's a guy who's bounced around the last couple of years, and obviously for a reason. But I think one of the reasons that a Darian Thompson is still there is because the Cowboys know what they have with him, and they're happy with that. You know, I think it is in some ways him emerging as the number one, at least as we sit 2 weeks before the season opener, is we don't know enough about him. I mean, you know, we know he was a starter with the Giants. He showed up in Dallas, never was a regular starter unless he got a start because of injury. But has he worked his way up the ladder? And is it a combination of has underperformed and he is over it, or is he there by default? But I do know that this Cowboys offense gets a ton of accolades. We know they've got, if not the best, one of the best wide receiving cores in the NFL. We know they've got a top flight running back. We know they've got one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Yet so far during training camp, there's been a number of practices where it certainly seems like the defense has had the upper hand.
I think we go back and forth, but the defense, we take winning very, very, very serious. We take going out there and dominating very, very, very serious. And as long as everybody, all 11, are doing their job and in the right spots, we usually have a good day.
And again, he's a big part of that. He, from the safety, a big part of the reason why they're having a lot of big days.
One of the things that in the modern vernacular that I really appreciate is what iron sharpens iron. You know, that the respect between two greats in practice or in game, it improves. And we talk about that defense in terms like, well, let's just hope they can hold up. Well, think about what they're having to go through every day in practice. I mean, there are that offense at every position on the defense. You have to be prepared while Blake Jarwin might be the least of all, that's a downhill tight end receiver, guy that's going to beat you 20 yards deep. You have to work on that on the regular, not to mention the 3 wide receivers and Pollard and Zeke and all that goes into it. You almost stumble backwards into getting better because, quite frankly, a lot of the time for the regular season, you're not going to see the talent you do on Sunday as you would on Wednesday and Thursday when you're padded up.
Well, and if you're a Cowboy fan, you certainly hope that is the case, that, that defense that I was down on coming into camp certainly seems to be a much better unit than we thought. And Thompson is certainly going to be a part of that. So is Trayvon Diggs, a rookie who, again, before camp, you wouldn't think that he's got a chance to be a starter. But that kid has come in and performed, and even a 5-year vet like Thompson has noticed the stellar play of Mr. Diggs.
Oh, he's an awesome player. Great corner, great coverage, great hands, speed, footwork, just learning the game. So we're excited to have him, a great man, and as well as a great player.
And you think about all the things he mentioned with his game, that he CeeDee Lamb is getting all the attention, obviously. Diggs might end up being the defensive version of CeeDee Lamb if he continues to develop the way he has shown out in camp.
Well, considering that the plan was high in that early in that first round to go defensive back, there'd been talk of safety, but certainly they were going to draft that. But as CeeDee Lamb fell, it was a deal that could not be passed up. And if the Cowboys got lucky enough to draft the Diggs, who really didn't have any negatives other than he hadn't been a lifetime cornerback, and had a couple of injury problems his junior year. But if he turns out to be what we've been told he is in training camp, they worked out quite well again in the draft because 1 and 2 seem to be surefire players.
And, on Facebook, Fred just made a comment, and you're more than welcome to comment as well. If HaHa is having a terrible camp, cut him and sign Earl Thomas. You got to remember, HaHa is on a 1-year, $3.5 million deal. He's also a veteran guy that understands what Mike McCarthy is looking for, and he has the relationship there. And HaHa is a good, if not great, locker room guy that if he doesn't get the starting job, isn't going to be an issue in the locker room, and he's going to help the young kids along. I'm sure he's helping Diggs along just fine. Earl Thomas will be a Dallas Cowboy when the price is right. The fact that we're at Thursday and you don't hear a lot of teams, or any team for that matter, negotiating right now with Earl Thomas tells you that when these coaches have called Pete Carroll and Harbaugh and maybe the agent on where the price tag is, until the price gets into a certain level. And we were talking about this earlier with RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com, and he cited a Charles Robinson podcast from Yahoo that kind of compared it to the Greg Hardy situation. Not the two players, but the situation. Not everybody in the building was wanting to bring in Greg Hardy until the price was, well, if it's that kind of price, how do we pass him up? And I think the Cowboys have that kind of temperature right now on Earl Thomas, and apparently so do every other team in the NFL. We like him, but not for what that's going to cost us right now.
Do you think that the difference in the administration is Stephen and Will McClay look at him and go, he is not worth what it's going to cost us. Even if we get him at a bargain, he ain't worth it. Look at the tape. We've talked to John Schneider up at the Seahawks. We've talked to Harbaugh and the boys, and what we get and what we're going to have to put up with ain't worth it. But Jerry, on the other hand, we heard it the other day. Who says it's over? I'm still talking about it. You get the feeling Jerry's all in on this, and Stephen and Will are going, man, unless we get it dirt cheap, it just didn't worth the time or the effort.
Well, I think there's that. And I think, the first time Mike McCarthy was asked about it, he brought up locker room. He brought up, I'd rather have a lesser player and a better teammate than a great player that's a bad teammate. He didn't say it exactly like that, but that's what he meant. He does not want to bring a disruption into the locker room, especially this year more than ever when you didn't have the offseason. The new guys and the rookies, they didn't really get to be in that locker room all off season like you would normally have. So bringing what could be an issue into the locker room, and maybe Earl Thomas would be a fine citizen for the Dallas Cowboys because he wants to be in Dallas. Maybe getting where he wants to be is all he needs for the attitude change. But you go from Seattle and everything you did with the Seahawks to 1 year in Baltimore, 2 fights with teammates that we know about, and who knows what other stuff that we don't know about. And you go, man, it'd be great, but Good Lord, at that price, man, I can't afford the Advil and you. I got to get your price down so I can get the Advil, the Tums, and you.
I remain committed that if you have the possibility of grabbing a Hall of Famer, one that has not lost all of his skills, certainly some of that athleticism a bit gone as he's up in age, but if I can get him on the cheap, and I know that I just came up with a $7+ million in the cushions renegotiating Tyron Smith's deal. I hope they're at least involved in it. I just can't imagine heading into the season with an opportunity that literally fell in your lap, and you don't have to spend that much. I get the feeling that this Darian Thompson thing is not what they envisioned coming into the season, or they wouldn't have gone and gotten Clinton Dix to even start with, or they just said, well, we got Darian. What's the issue? They didn't say that, and they let Jeff Heath go, and Thompson couldn't even beat Heath out. So I think there's more to do here at the safety position. They're just being silent, letting us know. Hey, let's talk about a new cornerback that will probably be starting for the Dallas Cowboys sooner rather than later. Trayvon Diggs, a second-round pick, going to join us next. Looking at a young rookie's quest to get a starting gig there with the Dallas Cowboys right here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Your home for the Texas Rangers all season long.
This is Joey Gallo.
This is Elvis Andrews of the Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers baseball, brought to you by GPS of Texas.
Your home for the Texas Rangers, 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM.
Labor Day savings are now at the Home Depot, and your fall project list is now even more affordable. Use our mobile app to search, shop, and save. Flexible delivery options that bring everything you need right to your door. And if you need tools for a project, but not forever, you can rent them. You won't find a better toolbox anywhere else. Take on fall with Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last, valid through September 7th.
AA Best Bail Bonds presents Dallas Cowboys Training Camp coverage on ESPN San Antonio. Sponsored by Ewald Kubota, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Your AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboy Training Camp coverage continues. Like to welcome on the show brand new cornerback with the Dallas Cowboys, their second round pick, Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon, man, welcome aboard. Thanks for taking some time with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So Trayvon, talk about training camp up to this point. Obviously, it's a bizarre year with COVID and everything, but being a rookie coming into the NFL, knowing you've got, your brother who plays in the NFL, you had an idea of what you were getting into, but what's it been like for you?
It's been a great experience. It's been, a weird time coming into the NFL this year with everything going on, but, that's part of life, just adversity and, change and, just rolling with the punches and making the best of it. But so far, it's been fun. I've been, learning from the older guys, seeing how everything works. Like you said, I kind of had an idea how it was going to work. But, I'm just, coming to work every day, learning from the older guys, meeting new people, building relationships, talking to my coaches, watching film and doing things like that, just trying to work and, make the most of, our situation and what we have. It's a great facility here. Everything's here, great coaching. So, just trying to take as much coaching as I can get and, pack all the knowledge I can this first year.
He is Trayvon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys, number 31 in your heart on the playbook there. Trayvon, tell me a little bit about your competition. You're competing well by every measure. Everybody's really happy with what you've been doing. What do you attribute your preparation to? Why is it you're further along than or where you are? Is it because you have experience? Is it because of Alabama? How'd you get yourself ready for this very strange training camp?
I feel like it has come from, my school and where I come from, that we always train hard and, just expecting making the most of your opportunities, because you don't get a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of guys up there, a lot of talent. So, you got to make the most of your opportunities and just, go about it like a pro and do everything like a pro. So, I just carry that over here, just working hard, having all the confidence in the world, just competing. I'm not going to necessarily compete with anybody out here, but, I'm competing with myself first, before I compete with somebody else, because, you know, you guys want to do it every day. You gotta want to put the work in every day. So, you know, that's a conversation with yourself. That's a conversation you have to have with yourself. And, you know, I feel like I'm real good and real in tune with myself. So, you know, I have all that confidence I can go out here and compete, you know, just doing the things off the field to give me confidence on the field, you know. So I feel like that's a play. And, you know, I'm a competitor. You know, I like to compete. I lose one, and I feel like, you know, if you get me to that on that route one time, you ain't gonna get me on it twice, you know. So I like to build from my mistakes. I take all my losses as lessons, and, you know, I learn from it. And, you know, I feel like that helped me, you know, escalate quick and, you know, learn from my mistakes and play better and play faster.
You know, as a second round pick, all the preseason, you know, depth charts and guesswork didn't have you listed as a starter. Do you expect after the couple weeks of training camp, as good of a camp as you are having, that you will be in the starting lineup, if not against the Rams, at some point this season?
Of course, that's the main goal. You know, it's not up to me at the end of the day, but it is up to me by, you know, doing what I can on the field to show that, you know, I can be the starting cornerback and I can go out there and do everything the team needs me to do. So, you know, that's my goal. You know, I want to be the starting cornerback. I want to go out there. I want to compete. And, you know, I just want to, you know, go ball and help, you know, this team win. So, you know, I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing my part, doing everything I can on the field and practice, just trying to make the most of it, just to show that I can be out there and I can do it. But after everything's said and done, I'm ready. Coach told me out there, I'm ready.
He's ready. Trayvon Diggs. Now, Trayvon, you know, injuries are part of the game, and there's certainly injuries at corner right now. That's kind of the way of the NFL. You talk about confidence. How confident are you? Ready to go out and go one-on-one with Robert Woods in week one? I mean, is this been enough, or is the learning process such that you hope to be ready when you see Robert Woods here in a couple of weeks?
I know I'm going to be ready. You know, we have great wide receivers here that I go against every day, you know, practicing with them, learning, you know, different type of styles, Coop, Gallup, CD, you know, all the receivers good. They all got their, you know, certain way of playing. So, you know, I'm practicing against, you know, one of the best receivers every day. So, you know, that's preparing me for the game time when I go against other receivers. And, you know, like I said before, I'm a competitor. I like to compete, and I have all the confidence in my ability. So, you know, I'm ready. Coach told me out there, I'm going to be ready.
And you talk about going against those receivers. You were a receiver not that long ago. You know, it hasn't been that long since you made the switch to defensive back. How much has that helped you? How much has that hurt you?
I would say that it helped me more than it hurt me. I don't think it hurt me at all, because, you know, it helps me, you know, play the ball better. You know, my ball skills have helped me a lot, because I've been playing receiver all my life. So locating the ball, tracking the ball, having a feel for the ball, having a feel for routes. You know, when receivers break down, I know when they're really breaking and when they're not breaking. So, you know, just little things that, you know, I've done as a receiver, it's just natural to me. So when I go out there and I'm throwing it as a defensive back, it's all natural. So it helped me be more fluid in my transitions. And I feel like it helped me a lot, just, you know, being around the ball, wanting to be around the ball, knowing routes, knowing route concepts, stuff like that. So I feel like it helped me more than it hurt me.
Trayvon Diggs joining us here on ESPN San Antonio, rookie cornerback with the Dallas Cowboys. And as a rookie, there are certain jobs you got to do. Tell us about your room and your experience as a rookie as training camp's gone on. What is, have you had to pick up food? Have you had to do the typical rookie duties?
It hasn't got crazy, honestly. It's been all love so far, but, you know, it's a long season. I know it's coming. But so far I haven't had to do anything too outrageous. You know, just, you know, grab a couple of snacks and stuff for the meeting rooms and things like that. Nothing too crazy or too extravagant. So, you know, it's been all love. You know, I love these my teammates, and being around these guys. They're cool, and, you know, they talk to me. Everyone's talking different groups, different positions. So, you know, it's real good.
Now, obviously, this is a different kind of training camp. Instead of being out in Oxnard, California, you know, typically, you know, let's put ourselves there. We're on the tennis courts doing our show in Oxnard, California, because that's what we do. We set up on the tennis courts there in Oxnard. And when we get the rookies on the show, typically, Trayvon, whatever they had to sing in the meeting, they sing for our radio audience. So what have you had to sing, and are you ready to belt it out?
we haven't got to sing anything yet, so that's good, surprisingly, because I can't sing.
None of you can, but somehow it always seems to happen.
I feel like it's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Get yourself ready. Just get a short song, man. Go with a short song that isn't complicated. Here's a pro tip. Short, uncomplicated song. They'll give you heat for it, but it'll be easier on you. Trust me.
I got you.
Talk about your room, Trayvon. What about Cheeto and some of the vets? How are they treating you? Is it a teacher mentor kind of thing, or is it a competitive thing? Do what I do. How are you learning from the older guys?
The room is good. It's good chemistry. Good energy in the room. So I'm learning from them naturally. That's what I do. I like to watch. When they do well. I like to watch when they do bad. And I like to learn from mistakes, and I like to learn from the things that they do well. So I'm just watching them. I watch all of them. I watch everyone. Just see the things that they do, getting a feel, trying to put myself in their position and seeing everything. And, if I have questions, I ask them, tips or anything, I ask them. But I'm an observer, and I like to watch and, just go out there, compete. There's always competition, no matter what. But it's always good energy with us as well. So, competition is competition,
Out of curiosity, being a rookie player, what vet has taken you under his wing?
That's hard to say. It's a couple of vets that, I talk to every day. Try to get as much knowledge as I can. Clint Dix, Jalen Smith. I talk to Sean all the time. I talk to a lot of guys. Like I said, it's a lot of chemistry and, people talking at different positions at different groups. So, they take all the rookies in and, they welcome us in with open arms. So everything's been all love. It's been all just love. And I enjoy that because, sometimes you might not feel comfortable talking to a vet or anything, asking them questions, because you're just coming in, but, they welcomed us in with open arms and made it comfortable for us to talk to them and, ask them questions and stuff like that. So, it's been love. I like it a lot.
Trayvon, coming from Bama, certainly from Alabama, by way of the DMV area, the DC Metroplex, tell us what do you think about Dallas in general? Have you had a chance to learn the area? Have you been out and about? You found a restaurant you like, or is this whole bubble thing kind of screwed up the way you get to learn your new hometown?
It's kind of screwed up a little bit, but from what I've been and what I've seen, what I've been around, Dallas is amazing. It's amazing. I like it a lot. A lot of it's big, a lot of restaurants, a lot of malls, a lot of great people. I love it here.
Trayvon Diggs joining us here on ESPN San Antonio, rookie cornerback trying to make his way.
It's going to be an incredible year. Now, you haven't gotten to sing yet. You haven't had the rookie duties yet, but they're coming. Out of curiosity, because we had your brother on a couple of times when we've been on Super Bowl Radio Row, and former Viking player Andrew Sendejo is from the San Antonio area. You know him pretty well. Your brother is known for pretty elaborate Christmas gifts for his teammates, some on the serious side, maybe some on the joking side. Have you thought about what you are going to be known for in the locker room outside of football?
No, not yet. I'm just being myself. Coming here being myself, and eventually something to come about. Just me being me and who I am, and eventually that'll happen. But I don't know yet.
Biggest surprise about being a pro football player? Certainly, you've been around the game long enough. Nothing about the game I think surprised you, but being a Dallas Cowboy and becoming a pro football player, what was the first thing you went, "Wow, that's cool"? I had no idea.
I don't know. That's a tough question. Nothing really surprised me. I feel like everything has been, what I expected it to be. So nothing really surprised me, honestly.
Trayvon, man, by every measure, your camp has gone well. We cannot wait to see you on the field against them Rams, shutting down and opening up that brand new, beautiful stadium at the same time. Trayvon, thanks so much for joining us today. Stay healthy, my friend. We look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Trayvon Diggs joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. We ask him all those questions. You got to remember, he's got a brother that's been around the league for a little bit. Stefon Diggs is been around a bit, new Buffalo wide receiver, and Trayvon, following in those footsteps, was a wide receiver for most of his early football career, turned to defensive back after, quite frankly, losing the gig there at Alabama, but certainly turned out well. We're going to come back, put a bow on the show. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Every Thursday night at 7 after the Blitz, ESPN San Antonio brings you Down for the Count, the premier wrestling and sports entertainment talk show featuring news and interviews from WWE, NXT, and AEW. Down for the Count, only on ESPN San Antonio.
Blake Stevens with San Antonio-based GPS of Texas. If you have commercial vehicles on the road, you're a target for personal injury lawyers. I mean, you're wearing a bullseye. Our system can protect you if there is an accident with proof of speed, video monitoring, even proof that your driver wasn't on his phone. Don't get hammered. Have real proof that you weren't at fault by installing our GPS camera tracking system. Call GPS of Texas at 210-587-7634 or gpsoftexas.com.
Whether class is in school, at home, or a little bit of both, school goes on.
And Staples has everything you need to start the year right.
From lap desks to notebooks, noise-canceling headphones to UV sanitizers.
And all at amazing prices. This week, select Marble comp books, 4-ounce Elmer's glue, and Staples dual-size pencil sharpeners are just 25 cents each.
Plus, you can shop in-store or pick up curbside. School on, save on at Staples.
Ends 8/29, in-store only, limit 6, while supplies last, curbside available in most stores.
Finding the next job is a big job, and that part of what you do is a little tough right now. Because of that, Lowe's for Pros is here to help. Get $400 in leads on us with a free 1-year subscription from HomeAdvisor to connect to jobs that make sense for you. Sign up at lowesforpros.com/pro-loyalty to get started. Just one more reason why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Now let's get to work. Subscription and $400 lead credit subject to HomeAdvisor's approval and terms. Valid for new HomeAdvisor customers only. Lowe's loyalty required. More terms apply. Valid through 9/9 U.S. only.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson, broadcasting live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts mobile studios up on blocks and our respective costs. There's a little bit of house cleaning. If you tuned in just now expecting to hear the Texas Rangers and the Oakland A's going at it, probably about 5th inning, 6th inning by now. Bad news.
You're late.
The boycott, the A's decided to boycott. The Rangers, of course, agreed in principle, so everybody's boycotting. They're going to make that game up on September the 12th. In the meantime, we're broadcasting. Those that are normally accustomed to hearing Down for the Count, our fantastic wrestling show with Brandon Medina and Dan Cialana, normally that would have run at 7, but it was going to be covered by the baseball game. So they're already scheduled. They're offering you the show tonight at 11 o'clock with all the latest wrestling updates. And don't forget, if you ever miss Down for the Count because they've been covered up, we're broadcasting them at 11 o'clock on Saturdays if you happen to miss that. So there's the house cleaning part of stuff. The good news as we finish up our show, Jason, is as we left yesterday, the NBA was in flux, a true crisis, the likes of which the league had never seen before. The players were not going to play, and we couldn't figure out if they were ever going to decide to play. And a tense night, and we hear that discussions went well into the early morning hours, I'm sure over a fine bottle of scotch, as discussions were made. You got to figure, guys sitting around figuring out what the heck we're going to do next, because what we're doing now hadn't been working, I think. And Michael Jordan stepped in, and others of a different perspective, and it appears have convinced the players to come back and play and use the platform that they have even more so, although there is a discussion going between owners and players as we speak. But the expectation, Jason, is Friday, tomorrow, but if it doesn't start tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning, then Saturday would be the day that the NBA gets going again.
And they'll be able to resume. They don't have the scheduling issues that Major League Baseball has because of the travel. They're in the bubble. They'll be able to make it work and work with the TV partners and get the games on. The NHL has decided not to have playoff hockey games tonight or tomorrow night. Same with the WNBA. So, and it is also interesting that many NFL teams have released statements. Of the ones that I have seen, and I can't say that I've seen them all, but the Baltimore Ravens might have the most powerful statement because they have a list of actions as a part of their statement, very specific things that they want to accomplish. No statement, though, from the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, I didn't expect one. Because we've really not gotten a statement regarding anything other than the request for grace. We had John Mclean of the Houston Chronicle on earlier talking about the Texans. And if you missed any of that, go to the audio vault by A.A. Best Bail Bonds there at ESPNSA.com. He talked about Jim O'Brien's. I said, dude, I'm kneeling. Of course I'm going to kneel. I mean, Jim. Did I say Jim? Bill. Jim's kneeling already. Bill has already said he's kneeling. You got to keep in mind, I'm an hour and a half into overtime. You got if you wanted the good stuff, you had to get here before 5:30. That's what the prep had manufactured itself for. But the fact is, I'm not surprised we haven't heard from the Cowboys, though the expectation is as we get closer and closer, there's no way Jerry can do anything other than let them do what they want to do.
Say that again.
There's no way that Jerry can keep them from kneeling. He's not going to be able to withhold. He's not going to be able to be angry. He's going to have to continue to plead as he did before for grace. Understand while they're doing it. It is not a defamation of the flag itself, nor the Constitution, nor the country. It is calling attention to a very specific problem that is happening underneath the umbrella of what that flag provides. And if you see it otherwise, then you're not seeing it the way that they do. And you need to go that way. You need to find the grace in your heart to understand where they are. And I think that's where Jerry's going to stay. I think he's going to try to counsel his guys into acquiescing to his wishes, but he's not going to be able to do that.
No,
there might be some that stand with him because they appreciate who Jerry is, and I would certainly respect that as well. But he's going to have to let the guys do what they want to do.
And again, I am hearing Mike McCarthy talk this morning, and he even said it's hard to talk football. And again, he still has most of his family living in Wisconsin. And you wonder, a new coach that doesn't know Jerry as well as, say, Jason Garrett, what kind of influence that will have on Jerry. Although I am a little surprised that there wasn't that every team hasn't issued some kind of statement. But again, the Cowboys did not initially, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised at this point that they haven't. I mean, we didn't hear from Jerry all summer.
Oh, you still got to put on the ribbon. There's still an expectation. Now, certainly not immediate. And I liken it to what the NHL did. Yesterday, the NHL went full speed ahead. Certainly, they offered some pre-game kneeling and some recognition of the situation in Kenosha, and certainly the recognition of the Black Lives Matter movement. But they went ahead and played. And one of the players, I believe, for Nashville, called him to shame, said, how embarrassing. I'm ashamed. What are you guys doing? And they realized that and are boycotting this evening, are not playing in deference to the situation going on in the United States. And I think the NFL and individual teams will at some point offer something. And you're going to have to put on the ribbon. We're just not rushing to judgment right now with the expectation that something will in fact happen. We heard from Saquon Barkley today and the New York Giants saying, sitting and kneeling in a game isn't out of the question, though. We need to make it very clear that if you kneel during or if you boycott an NFL game during the regular season, that is 1/17 of your pay. So very different from playoff kneeling, which is just gravy money.
Well, and that's the other part of it for those of you talking about the NBA players and whatnot. It's not regular season money now. Playoff checks are far, 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 far smaller than regular season checks, and they're not withholding money. They're going to make up those games.
As we get ready to head into the sunset here in 20 seconds, why are the Rangers talking about trading Lance Lynn? Why would you? The Rangers are awful. We need to see some of that talent, the young guys that they've been, we're already losing. I mean, you're not going to go anywhere. Why would you consider trading your one player that is worth a damn and then consider the Yankees to be the recipient of the one dude you got? Explain to me baseball again. Because this seems to be an ongoing thread with a lot of teams. You got one dude, and you go, you know what? We're not good enough, so we're getting rid of the one dude that's even making this conversation even worthwhile.
Because you get young people in return that hopefully can.
But you never play them. As soon as they get good, that's our one guy. Let's trade that guy.
Yeah, they're cheap, and you can develop them and add to your farm system. Because this year, you're not winning a World Series, which is every year for the Texas Rangers.
Well, it will continue to be as such. When you finally have a legit 1A pitch. A guy up there in the WAR report. You got a guy you can expect.
5 days.
Let's just trade that guy. At least that's every 5 days.
Yeah, he's your only tradable commodity.
I'll never understand baseball. It continues to be one of those unwritten rules. Hey, this has been The Blitz. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Miller Lite and ESPN San Antonio are helping you to win Cowboys prizes all camp long.
How about this, Cowboys?
Go to ESPNSA.com for your chance to register and win.
All right.
This week, register to win a Miller Lite Cowboys OtterBox Icebox.
I want one. I need it.
Register at ESPN.